a 10-foot-tall Iran War Participation Trophy.
Ow.
They further encourage the public to leave trophies of their own on base for Trump to claim credit for, to feel like a winner instead of bombing Iran.
Bruh.
I feel like that would stroke his ego a bit.
That's the point!
Yeah, true. He probably doesn't know what satire means.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. He fucking literally was. He accepted awards for being a shit person because he didn't understand a language that was being spoken.
Because
Right.
he does not
Also
care!
the literal bell as well, I believe, right?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was in a certain country, and people were mocking him, and he was just like, thank you very much.
It was the British.
Oh right, yes.
They gave him a bell.
It was the British. They gave him a bell.
Oh, right, yeah, because it was the bell end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Dear God in heaven.
Oh, yo, big bell end. So we're giving you one, and he's like, oh, thank you. This is so good. I love it.
Yep.
For me.
Yep. Next up, a group of 4 Democrat congressmen went to Cuba to take a look at the shit going on there, which is, pretty bad, because Trump's basically said, y'all don't get any gas, because apparently he can just do that, and no one seems to care. The congressman, was referred to the energy embargo as a quote silent Gaza, which is a bit over dramatic. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad.
That is, one way to put it.
Yeah. In other news, a U.S. appeals court threw out a lower court's throwing out of 500 lawsuits alleging that Tylenol causes autism.
Good.
What?
The feds have finally handed over evidence related to the shooting of Renee Good in Minnesota 6 months ago. They finally handed over
They should have done that
evidence
sooner.
to local. Yeah, they finally did to local. Well, they would have done it sooner if they were law enforcement and not the secret police. The fact that they did it at all is kind of surprising, if I'm honest.
I hate it here.
I'd like to point out that kind of evidence that was handed over included her car.
Again, I hate it here.
The Hungarian parliament this week removed the pro-Orban president and the pro-Orban head of the Constitutional Court from office. Viktor Orban's party cried foul, to which the new prime minister's party pointed out that, guys, you're the ones who wrote the Constitution. You literally rewrote the Constitution, and we're using the rules you wrote. Shut up.
Right.
Amy.
Yeah, do not say anything. I want to say everything for this. All right, so Netanyahu.
That asshole.
Yes. He wants to, and I quote, Gym Max with clavicular.
Who?
As you do.
I would say I would scream out
Clavicular.
no why, but I actually
The
know
dude-
the way I did that.
The looks maxing dude who went to jail for shooting a fucking alligator in
Yeah.
Florida.
Fucking.
You know, who meth maxed.
As you do.
Walter White special maxed.
As you
This
do.
is especially weird because Clavicular has said some really fucking horrendous anti-Semitic shit, like actually bad anti-Semitic shit.
Oh, yeah, because Israel doesn't actually care about anti-Semitism. It's like anti-Semitism if it's something else.
Yes, however, he's actually said things negative toward Netanyahu before, but now that he's, quote unquote, changed and targeted by people who are on the. Now that he's, targeted by the left and he's, praising Netanyahu, Netanyahu's like, yes, I want to be hip with the kids. Who is this Clavicular?
How do you do, fellow Zoomers?
Basically like that.
We're fucking cooked. We're fucking cooked. That's all I have to say. Ooh. We're cooked if that ever fucking happens. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Just. Oh yeah, and by the way, Clavicular never walked back those statements, because if you know anything about that dude, if he ever gets any sort of criticism of his statements, he just kind of just goes like, "How dare you?" and just walks out. Like, don't bring negativity in my life. You're making you're gonna increase my I forgot the fucking phrase.
Yeah, he did the same thing also once in an interview. Like it's a fucking headshot.
Like, why are you bringing down the vibes? Why are you bringing down the vibes? Just be positive, and then just walks out. Like, okay, dude. Like, dude's a man-child. I hate it here. I hate it here. Like, God, I hate that that's how these people act. That's all I have to say. That's all. Alright, Meep, you.
All right. Next up, the UK. Who I believe did a thing with France. One of them's officially Europe's biggest loser. Anyway, they signed a treaty with the EU this week to bring Gibraltar into the Schengen area,
Oh, nice.
moving the border checks from the border with Spain to the airport to go to the UK that way. Which hopefully will help with figuring out the whole Northern Ireland situation. That is a thing that exists. We'll see. The point is, I'm sure somehow Count Binface wins from this.
Yes.
Next up, UC Berkeley released a study this week where they basically combed through a bunch of data and identified 412 instances of excessive use of force by law enforcement at anti-ICE protests.
I wonder why.
Particularly crowd control projectiles aimed at people's heads, which was 97 incidents, the second largest category in the study. They also noted that
people.
Yeah, they also noted that 42% of recorded instances of use of force violations were directed at journalists. 42%. Now, to be fair, journalists are going to be actively recording anything, so they have a higher chance of those incidents being recorded than the average person. But still...
I'd say boo to them because they're They're like the fucking. They're like the fucking. Oh my god.
Because if it's
they're like the
recorded,
fucking
that's evidence at
American
Nuremberg.
They're like the fucking American Fork Police Department in the goddamn bricks and minifigs shit, where they'll fucking literally twist the arm of the person involved, just because they see a phone.
Yep. The other thing noted in this study that I want to mention is that they recorded 203 injuries across 199 individuals. Next up, Mahmoud Khalil. We remember who that is, right?
Yes. Well,
That is the
I do at least.
Yeah, that is the Palestinian activist who Trump illegally deported, and is trying to prosecute for him for human trafficking somehow. He has announced he is suing Trump and several private organizations, alleging a public-private conspiracy to suppress criticism of Israel through doxing, deportations, and jailing. Specifically, he is suing them under the 1871 Ku Klux Klan Act.
Oh, hey, we've heard that one before, haven't we?
Yep, which is a law that was meant to help crack down on the KKK. I'd say the satire writes itself, but
Didn't they try to use that against an anti-ICE protest?
I think so.
Oh, it's like
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they did do that.
it's like they fucking. It's like they fucking. It's like their own fucking tools are being used against them all of a sudden.
In other news, we mentioned last week Lindsey Graham fucking died. So yeah, 3 days later, the Senate swore in the appointment to replace him, which is his sister. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure I remember Mike Johnson in the House refusing to swear in a representative who won an election for 50 days. Not like an appointed replacement, someone who won an election.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Oh yeah, he did that to try and stop the Epstein files from being released, because it was the last vote that was needed to release them. And then they didn't actually end up releasing them. Next up, we're going to the great U.S. state of Maine, famous for being blamed on Spain.
What?
Huh?
Blame the Maine on Spain.
Yeah.
I actually never heard that before.
The Spanish-American War.
Ah, okay.
The
USS Maine fucking exploded, and everyone blamed Spain for it, and because it was in Cuba at the time, and the US went to war with Spain.
So that was the reason. Okay.
Well, that was the official reason. Basically everyone's pretty sure. Yeah, it was like someone was probably smoking where they weren't supposed to. Is probably what actually happened. But it basically they blamed Spain for like putting it like a mine on it and blowing it up while it was docked in Cuba, and because the U.S. wanted to go to war to take the Philippines and shit.
Yeah.
So I will give one piece of credit to that. One of the biggest war hawks for that was a man named Teddy Roosevelt, whose reaction to the war actually kicking off was to resign his political position and enlist in the military, specifically using his political connections to make sure he'd actually be like one of the first groups deployed to Cuba. Because Teddy Roosevelt had his problems, but he at least had that. He was no bitch. He was no coward.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt has never been no fucking coward.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard his famous phrase?
Which one?
Walk quietly and carry a big stick.
Well, that was when he was going big imperialism, but
yeah, but even then,
this is also the guy who
even then, that man, it doesn't matter if if it's big imperialism, that fucking man. That's the phrase of somebody who has no fucking fear.
Well, this is the guy who someone shot him, tried to assassinate him. It didn't kill him, and he proceeded to go give the speech he was gonna do anyway for like 30 minutes, half of which was spent making fun of the guy who shot him.
Yeah.
And I think it was. I don't think it was. No, I don't think he was the guy who shot him. He didn't kill him, and he proceeded to beat them up. No, that was Otto von Bismarck who did that. It was Otto von Bismarck. Someone shot Otto von Bismarck like 3 times, but they all bounced off his ribs, and the police had to tear Otto von Bismarck off the guy who tried to shoot him because Otto von Bismarck was just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, that sounds like Otto von Bismarck. I don't know much about him, but that sounds like him.
Well, yeah. And then the police investigate his injuries. Like, yeah, all 3 bullets that shot him bounced off his ribs. Presumably, Otto von Bismarck then put on a pair of black sunglasses, went Iron Chancellor, and just moonwalked away.
Sunglasses.
Anyway, in the U.S. state of Maine, ICE killed a guy again. So this one is unique in that ICE didn't even claim that the driver was trying to run over an ICE agent. They didn't even do that. Just that the ICE agent, quote, feared for public safety when the suspect attempted to flee the scene, because in the U.S. running from the cops is a capital offense and people think Judge Dredd isn't satire. The victim was apparently shot at least 4 times. And also, DHS hasn't officially released the identity of the guy, the ICE agent involved, but we know who he is because one of his ex-wives came out and his family came out and said, "Why the fuck is this guy an ICE agent?" He has a history of multiple domestic abuses against multiple wives. Is known PTSD, various mental health. This should have been disqualified from any law enforcement position. And why was he given a gun? Seriously. It's almost like they weren't actually doing background checks and just taking any volunteers. And
if I remember correctly, there was a journalist who literally found out that they were not.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because the journalist would have been disqualified because they literally already had a job, and since they've been on a fucking, streak of anti-journalism, they would have known that this journalist was anti-ICE.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't check at all. Sorry,
So, yeah. This was honestly more notable for the fact that ICE, didn't even, try and, they basically just admitted, yeah, we just killed a guy for no reason, Lamau. They're not even hiding it anymore. Because they know they'll get away with it. Anyway, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, that asshole, he has said that the Pentagon needs an extra $350 billion because, quote, we're fighting communism on our own shores, end quote. They're bringing back the fucking Red Scare.
Not again! Not again, oh my god.
11 days.
In other news, the CEO of Flock calls DFlock an organization documenting and mapping Flock camera installations. So that's how they're documenting and mapping the cameras. The CEO of Flock called them terrorists.
I don't give a fuck what he thinks.
I saw a clip where someone was like, yeah, Flock's constantly saying, "Yeah, we're putting up the cameras for like public safety or whatever to make people feel safe." So someone went and like just started like filming outside like their headquarters and informing all of like the employees, "Yeah, don't worry, you're under surveillance for your own safety." And for some reason, all of the employees at Flock felt really uncomfortable about that.
All I have to say is, I don't give a fuck what he thinks because, in my opinion, he's a terrorist.
In other news, we're going
it's
to...
suddenly like we can just say things and it won't matter.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to Columbus, Ohio, where police were responding to a domestic dispute call, and an officer attempted to shoot a dog, as you do, and accidentally shot his partner.
Okay.
I don't know how you fuck it up that bad. Also, why is every time I'm hearing about police responding to domestic dispute calls... It's the ATF's thing. Why is that just normal police now that are doing that? Stop it.
Get some help.
In other news, they have drained the reflecting pool to service it because, it got fucked up. By the way, they're just having the same people do it again, so it's probably going to have the exact same problem next time. But apparently, the entire bottom is gray again because the entire lining is just gone.
Just fucking keep it that way, you sons of bitches.
Well, Trump wants it to be blue. Hopefully this time they just skip to the end and paint it green.
Sorry, I'm just so
Just
tired.
paint it black.
There. Paint it black!
Emmy!
Yeah! Alright. Hey, y'all! Logan Paul.
Ew!
That asshole.
Sorry.
Yay,
Visceral reaction.
Yay, I'm glad I got a fucking reaction. Yay. Yeah, so, Logan Paul and has been in a lawsuit with CoffeeZilla, the, great YouTube detective, and actually has gotten people arrested and blah blah blah, all that shit. For a couple of years now.
Water.
And as of this week, the lawsuit has been settled.
Okay.
So, let me quickly summarize what was originally happened, and why this is probably the best outcome for at least CoffeeZilla. We don't know the settlement arrangement. We just know that we just got the first public documents saying that this is settled by the court. So we may never know the full arrangements unless CoffeeZilla is allowed to post about them, which there may be an agreement that he's not allowed to. Since we only just heard about it this week, there's a chance that he may be never. But given how stubborn he is, there's a chance that he may have fought against that. However, let's get back to what this all started with. A while back, Logan Paul had a project called CryptoZoo. You probably heard about it.
Yes.
If not through CoffeeZilla, if probably through somebody like Voice Critical, who also was pushing CoffeeZilla's videos. Basically, CoffeeZilla did a huge 3-part series talking about Logan Paul's videos, and it was all about how, hey, this is a scam. And this is, by the way, all retrospective. The project was already dead in the water by the time this has happened. CoffeeZilla went into a bunch of Telegram things that he had been sent. He went through a bunch of workers that were both unpaid, a bunch of people who were hired that were very suspicious, including one dude who was in charge of hiring that hired everyone that was incredibly suspicious, and one dude who was literally called the quote-unquote Crypto King, who is infamously a complete jackass and completely untrustworthy, who was hired to lead the project. Basically...
Crypto bro moment.
Yes. Basically, when this first came out, Logan responded with, CoffeeZilla! Oh, he's such a fucking scumbag, he's lying, blah blah blah. And
So what did I miss?
you missed the start of Logan Paul and Coffee's me just summarizing what's going on with CryptoZoo and blah blah blah.
So what do we
Basically,
get to
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul?
We're starting with that. Basically, right now, I'm just summarizing what happened. Logan Paul originally was just like, Logan Paul's a scumbag, or CoffeeZilla's a lying scumbag, and actually, he missed this, and then he doxed one of the anonymous people who was coming to CoffeeZilla. He brought up a bunch of things that CoffeeZilla intentionally left out. He did a bunch of other things, including doing a bunch of misdirection, including saying that, oh, well, the project's still coming, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, it's never launched. Oh, well, this worked at one point for certain people. For one. So, yeah. And, well, I can't be blamed for what other people hired. You're the head of the project. You're the one who should be blamed. That's just how this shit works. That's how it's always worked. Fuck off. That's all.
Yep.
Anyway, basically, he then goes on to his podcast, does a similar kind of bullshit, and then he makes an apology on his Instagram after hiding both of those. And then saying he'll refund the people. Guess what he never does?
Apologize.
No, he does apologize. Guess what he never does? He never refunds like he said in the apology. That's the key part here. So, half a year later, CoffeeZilla's like, hey, where's those refunds? You did say you were going to refund people. Just checking in. Some of these people in your, things are kind of like, hey, I haven't gotten my refund. They're kind of a little upset. And, basically, he does another one later on. And then Logan sues. Here's the weird part about this lawsuit. The lawsuit is actually not about the original CoffeeZilla videos, because they were actually out of the statute of limitations of defamation. Believe it or not, they're actually about him continuing the bullshit. Continuing the checkups, as CoffeeZilla was calling them. Because that's what Logan was trying to say was defamatory. So, yeah. And so, as things were going on through the lawsuits, essentially, Discovery was starting to look more and more like a CoffeeZilla would have won this lawsuit. As court was approaching, as the lawyers were starting to do that, but things were getting drawn out, and drawn out because Logan has more money, obviously. He can just do that shit. Which I think was the intention. However, there was two big things that changed around 2024. The end of 2024. Donald Trump took office. And that's about the time that crypto investigations ended and stuff like that started. And, you know, penalties for being negative toward crypto things started to be taken less seriously. So what people were saying was that he could probably, so that like, even if CoffeeZilla had won, there was a high chance that, well, guess what? They could have just gotten away with it anyway and not paid Coffee at all. However, there's another thing. We know Logan Paul has a brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
His brother is in real good with Donald Trump. And I believe, from my understanding, is trying to go into politics. And is endorsed by Donald Trump. So, let's say the lawsuit got... Because this is a federal court, let's say it went against Logan Paul. It could possibly be pardoned by the president. Because it's a federal court, not a state or otherwise court. So this settlement, sadly, was probably the best thing that could happen, because CoffeeZilla would have been out of money and out of luck had everything gone. Even if everything had gone well for CoffeeZilla, he probably wouldn't have seen a dime from Logan had he won. And that's the sad part. He'd have won and lost everything, likely. So this settlement is sadly probably the best result that we can get from this. So, I'm just glad to see that one of my favorite content creators is just done with a lawsuit with one of the most piece of shit people on the planet right now. That's all I came to report, because holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh, that's just crazy. How long this has been going on. That's all. Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to mention before we continued on with Meep's thing. You want to know who Logan Paul was represented by in court?
Who?
His lawyer's name was Logal Paul.
Bro.
Logal Paul. I shit you not. How do you find a fucking lawyer with the same name as you, but one letter changed? That is insane coincidence.
The funniest
How?
shit I ever heard, I guess.
That is such a coincidence. I cannot make that shit up. That's all. All right. Moving on. Meep.
Next up. Let's see. Jorgen the Penis Vance, that asshole, went on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he says, that J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, that asshole, says on the Joe Rogan podcast that Epstein had connections to American and Israeli intelligence agencies. He also acknowledged failures in communication by the administration on the files, but denies malicious intent. Now that part I don't believe, but Epstein having connections to American and Israeli intelligence? Yeah, that's been, like, theorized for a while now. Thanks for confirming that.
Look, because I think if I remember correctly, there was actually one clip that I saw where bro just straight up says the quiet part out loud about how to quiet a fucking conspiracy. In that, and it's exactly what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, and fucking Rogan's too much of a goddamn moron to just sit there and not notice that. He's letting that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In other news, in Washington State, there's a vacancy in the federal prosecutor position that was sitting vacant for a long time. So, as per the rules, the judges formed a council and appointed a guy to fill the slot until the president appoints a guy. And Trump's reaction was to fire the guy within 54 minutes of their appointment. From my understanding, Trump hasn't even nominated a guy to fill the position, let alone had a guy get confirmed by Congress. But because someone dared to do something that's nominally his job, he threw a hissy fit. Like, 54 minutes. Bruh. Anyway, Signalgate Hegseth, that asshole. Lots of that asshole today. Anyway, that guy has announced a new policy for the U.S., specifically in relating to the annual health screenings of U.S. troops in their annual medical exam, saying that troops over 30 will be screened for testosterone deficiency, and encourage troops with deficiency to get testosterone replacement therapy for it, but says it's not required. Nobody tell Trump Signalgate Hegseth has gone woke and recommended gender-affirming care to U.S. troops.
Well then.
I have to give it to the Onion. How the fuck do they keep actually coming up with genuine satire when the government, real life, is somehow being even stupider than they are? Like,
This is a contest.
it really is. It really is. Gender affirming care is only a problem if it's for trans people or women.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially trans women. It's like, what the fuck?
I swear it starts to feel like a contest of and to see who can be stupid.
Yeah, it's the whole, we need to make our troops stronger, we shall give them steroids. Yes. Anyway,
Yeah, they clearly
science.
touched.
Yeah, scientists identified a new species of monkey in the Congo.
Monkey!
New monkey.
New monkey drop, let's
Monkey!
go.
Monkey.
Yeah. Uh, to quote the BBC article, a monkey that has striking pinkish-orange lips and a black face that lives in the forests of the Congo has been confirmed as a new species to science. The black-footed primate was spotted and photographed hidden away in the high tree canopy of dense tropical forests in Lomami National Park in the central east of the country. Conservationists working there first reported seeing the unusual-looking animal back in 2008, but they captured just one blurry photograph. After another sighting 10 years later, an international team set out to find and study the monkey and revealed that it was a previously unknown species. It is only the fifth African monkey species to be discovered in the last 75 years.
God damn.
That's
Yep.
nice.
A little bit ago.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Anyway, next up, Massachusetts man. Now I've spoiled this out. So Massachusetts man did spoiler using
I read it.
spoiler.
I read it.
Alright.
Yeah,
Other
don't
than
ask me.
Enemy, I would like people to first take a guess. What did he do?
But I still don't understand. So
So it's Massachusetts, man. That means he. Okay, I could be wrong if actually if it's that state, but anyways. He took a lobster for a ride on a bicycle.
Alright, so he was riding around with a lobster and a bicycle. Alright. But what do you think he did?
Mm. I don't know. Because I'm not sure how close everything is together in America. I don't.
not usually
I-
very close.
I would have no idea, all things considered. Just fire a random shot in the dark, see what happens.
Just guess something random.
How random could I make this?
Yes.
Agreed. uh. I almost want to say that they would just do something stupid while being unarmed. Like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to my mind is whenever I think of stupid stuff is just robbing a bank unarmed.
Okay. Attempts robbing a bank. Okay. Jimmy, take a guess. Jimmy?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Maybe he blew his hand off?
Blew his hand off. Alright. So, Bolt was correct. It was an attempted bank robbery.
Wow.
Now, I would like people to take a guess. What was he using in his attempted bank robbery?
A spoon.
A spoon? Darius?
A lobster.
A lobster? Bolt.
I don't. I kind of want to think that it's an animal as well, because robbing with something like that, it just sounds stupid.
What
No,
kind of
but-
animal do you think it is?
I don't would be the animal. Huh. What? Oh, what would be really stupid? just try with an rubber penguin. Ah, the DSS is stupid. Just.
Just throw out an animal bolt.
Throw it in an animal. Any animal. Well, we are on the internet, aren't we? You know the first animal that comes to mind when you think of the internet. There's a...
Are you saying cat?
I mean, what else could I possibly think of? I mean,
Alright.
we're on the internet, it would be stupid enough to just be a thing.
Both is 2 for 2 because it was in fact a cat. Specifically, it was a stolen kitten.
Okay, but like,
I
why and how?
I wanted to laugh so hard when Bolt got both.
Yeah, Bolt. Can we get a applause in chat for Bolt? He successfully guessed what Massachusetts man did. Attempted bank robbery using a stolen kitten.
I think that's stupid. Like, if you're saying that they did something stupid, it would make sense that either an unarmed robbery, because I've seen that happen, like, heard tales of that line a few times, and to think that it would be the case, then just, oh yeah, just run in there. It has to be a cat. What else would it be?
So, from the news article I read on this, the guy stole the kitten from a pet store, walked like 3 businesses down to the bank, went in, handed the kitten to like the bank teller so he could write his note saying basically, "This is a robbery, give me money." So anyway, the cops showed up and arrested him. The stolen kitten was found unharmed in the bank manager's office and was returned to the pet store, where it is, from my understanding, still currently up for adoption. And it's honestly less he was using the cat for the bank robbery. It was more like an accomplice in the bank robbery, but still.
I'm still like,
Like,
what the? I didn't
fucking
quite
goddamn.
understand it.
It's
I
just
get it.
okay.
I don't get it.
Next up, we're going to the great nation of Australia, famous for not being
Australia.
Austria.
Ah, the land down under.
That's gonna tie into
Ah.
ism today.
So
Oh, true.
a group of Australian scientists developed a new method of doing photovoltaics, solar panels. Specifically, they developed a way to basically print the photovoltaic onto basically plastic wrap, like sturdy plastic wrap, like trying to think of like an example product, because it's not like plastic bag. It's more like sturdy, but it's like film plastic. So you could like roll it up and stuff.
Tape?
And be a lot lighter than, a traditional solar panel.
Like tape?
Though it is notably much less efficient than current panel technology, but it is massively cheaper and much more portable. Multitude of alternative uses as opposed to a traditional solar panel. So that's neat. In other news, Thomas Massey, that guy, has introduced the Epstein Files Transparency Act 2. Which, among other things, like actually being like, okay, federal government, actually release the files now. One of the provisions included in it that he was specifically calling out was that it would grant the state attorneys general's access to the complete files, unredacted, so that they can then use the files to prosecute co-conspirators under state law, since the federal government doesn't want to do that. So,
They're not gonna
releasing
let
the
this
files.
pass.
No. But
No.
The Republicans won't let this pass. This is just not going to happen.
well, Thomas Massey's a Republican, but he got a bunch of money thrown at him to get him kicked out. So
Yeah, I was going to say, the rest of them are not going to let this pass, is what I'm saying.
well, if they drum up a bunch of hubbub, they might work like it did last time. Anyway, long-time Donald Trump teleprompter operator got arrested for insider trading on prediction markets by placing bets on the president's speeches.
Yes, I heard about this. He was literally doing it as the speeches were happening, too.
Yeah, because he was having to pull his bets off whenever Trump went off script, which is frequent.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Bull.
Yes, don't say anything. I want to sell. So, y'all know how PlayStation PlayStation Sony, you know what we talked about last week, how they decided to just kill off physical media, right?
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what decides to happen?
What happened?
Oh, gee. It seems that PS5 emulators are starting to make their workarounds on the internet because they're being developed right now. What a surprise! Who could have seen it coming? Definitely not me. No.
The way you
Say the line, Bolt.
What a surprise! I guess you want me to say the line this time around. You know. To the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Yay!
The way you are delivering things, Bolt, sounds exactly like the late, great. Oh my god, I already forgot his name, but oh my god, what's his name? The dude. I can't do his voice. Oh my god, Iago from fucking the original English version of fucking Aladdin. Oh my god. Very distinct voice. Oh my god, why am I spacing on his voice? Fuck. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, please. Can you give me 2 seconds?
Take your time.
1,
Damn
2.
it,
I knew he was going to do that.
I think we all had a joke in our head.
No, I knew exactly who was going to do it, and I knew for a fact it was going to be fucking Meep.
Gilbert
I would've done
Gottfried.
it.
Gilbert Gottfried. The way you were delivering things just now sounded exactly like Gilbert Gottfried. The late, great Gilbert Gottfried. If you don't know who that is, oh my god. Oh my god.
I do not.
Damn it.
You don't? Have you ever watched Aladdin from Disney?
I've watched Aladdin.
He's the parrot.
Oh, he's Iago. Okay.
Yeah, I literally said that multiple times. Yeah, he's Iago. Yeah, he's got a very distinct voice.
But
Mildly
Definitely.
graded, but it's incredible.
yeah. On top of people just canceling their PlayStation Plus because, of course, you
Just the
shouldn't
rest of
support
absolutely
someone who just
nobody.
is able to take your games away at any moment. People are just saying, you know what, fuck that. We're just gonna start doing things because, apparently what we buy is not what we own.
Hey, I have a question though. Okay, I have a question though. How would a PS5 emulator work though? PS5 has no games.
True.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. PlayStation 5 actually makes money off of not just that, but also people playing games that were not made off of made for it through the PlayStation Network, but also by licensing out to other studios and other things like that. So if you purchase it off of the purchase it on the PS5 at all, they are making money. That should answer your question, actually. Believe it or not, even if you're being sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic, yes.
I say, even if you're being sarcastic, that can be a genuine question that somebody's asking. So I also wanted to answer that question. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah. That's something that's gonna happen now because people are not taking it lightly that their physical media is just gonna go away. To which I would say, fair enough.
Yeah.
Physical media is important. So yeah, that's was a big.
Yeah, physical media and archiving media for other people to be able to play in the future is important.
Very.
Don't you forget
That's
it.
why I support, and we should be backing places like the Wayback Machine and the Internet Archive. Actually, Internet Archive is the Wayback Machine, but also the Internet Preservation Society.
Yes.
I wanted to quickly shout them out while we're thinking about that.
Yeah, well, we're on topic before we
and
Roomba to the next.
And also quickly, the Lost Media wiki, because they also like to help those too, because they help try and preserve lost media. So there you go. Continue.
Yeah. All right, Meep, we go back to you.
Back to me. Alright. Delta Airlines. One of the big US airlines. They have ended a program, specifically a program for congressmen, which was basically escort congressmen straight to the plane, telling them, get in line at TSA like everyone else.
Good.
Because US congressmen like to pretend that they don't get huge amounts of money from lobbying by not all owning private jets. So they fly commercial. And Delta basically told them, wait in line like anyone else, Lamau.
Yeah, so basically, if you're gonna be that way, just fucking wait in line. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, either pay us or wait in line is essentially what they said.
Yeah. Next up, Ohio. Which I'm sure Darius finds hilarious because Ohio mentioned. Anyway, so one of the GOP senators from Ohio proposed a bill in Congress to sanction Canada. Why are they proposing to sanction Canada? Hold on, let me check my notes. Canada is on fire.
What?
Yeah.
There are really big wildfires in Canada that are blowing, and the smoke is blowing into the United States. And the senator from Ohio is saying we should sanction Canada over that.
Wow.
What are you taking, and
It's so
why?
stupid.
And why are you taking it?
What are you taking, and can I have some of it?
I thought it was bad last year when USA Today was basically writing a piece, basically saying we should take Canada for it. It's like, okay, American news media, shut the fuck up. But no, it's the senator saying that we should sanction Canada because they're on fire.
Did somebody just play a blinking sound?
No.
I could have sworn I heard a blinking sound. Blink, blink. Like a blinking sound, like we're confused. I could have sworn. Jesus Christ, I feel.
At least you start imagining.
That was your own eyes blinking in confusion. It was diegetic, but only for you.
Exactly.
Basically, Canada is on fire and it gets sanctioned for that. That's what.
Oh, they're not actually getting sanctioned because, like, I'm pretty sure the president's the one who has to do that, but still. Anyway, NPR put out a report this week. Medicaid data, ICE was legally barred by a judge from having pending active litigation, was given to Palantir by ICE after ICE was sent it in error as part of a larger data set of similar data they were allowed to have. Just...
Sorry, I'm laughing at something else. Don't. That is not funny. That is not
so
funny.
Basically, this was like a bunch of Medicaid data that a bunch of states sued, and so a judge said, ICE, you're not allowed to have the data from these states until the lawsuit's over. But states that didn't sue, that were, spoiler, Republican, were okay with them having this data, so they were allowed to have their data. And they, I guess, got sent basically the data of a bunch of states, which includes some of the states they weren't allowed to have, and they just turned around and gave the whole data set straight to Palantir. And basically, they realized this and basically asked Palantir nicely, please remove the offending data. We will not check. Something secret police has been privatized. Anyway, next up we're going to the UK. Specifically to the University of Bath.
Bathtub.
The bath.
Yeah. Scientists at the University of Bath in the UK developed a new plant polymer-based wound dressing, so bandages, which automatically releases antibiotics to help prevent infections.
Oh, that's big.
Can't wait for pharmaceutical businesses to pump up the price to like $300 per bandage.
So they got Resident Evil cream plants.
Jimmy, it won't get that far. The petroleum industry will stop them because it's plant-based polymers instead of oil-based polymers.
True.
Believe in the plants.
Especially since in the UK doesn't have a massive medical lobby, but they do have a really powerful oil lobby. In fact, it's so powerful it got the US to coup Iran. That's why there was the Shah of Iran, is because British Petroleum asked the US nicely. The company BP, British Petroleum.
Christ on a bike.
Next up, Ami.
All right, so anybody here familiar with Jim Cramer?
It sounds like an asshole I should know.
All right, so I'll explain who he is here.
Sounds like someone that has whipped cream instead of a brain.
Well, you're right, actually. You're right, Jimmy. He does have whipped cream instead of a brain. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's start with stock news. Why do I care about stock news? Because of Jim Cramer. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's start with the stock news.
Why do I care about news? It'll come to point later. Let's talk about King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard.
Oh no, we'll get to them at the end.
I don't know why I said that, I'm sorry.
I'm so already excited for that, by the way, but I'll continue on.
Anyway, so the stocks opened, and almost immediately, IBM lost a quarter of its stock in a single day. Having the worst day in its entire lifetime. Not just as a stock, as a company.
Damn.
Now, there's people who have talked about this in detail, who can explain why this happened, due to whatever, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer is a stock analyst, quote-unquote, who works with the news organization MSNBC, which is now rebranding to MS Now. I don't like calling it that, because that's a stupid name. Oh, then again, MSNBC wasn't that much better, so...
Yeah, both are pretty stupid.
You know, I'll go with MS Now.
It just feels like it's one word away from Messenger, MSN.
And that's funny because I don't think they owned MSN. I don't think they owned Messenger. So anyway, point is, he had a notorious run of being so bad at stocks and predicting what you should buy for stocks that there's literally stock groups that will buy for you based off of what he says, and doing the opposite of it. That's how bad it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and he had his own show on their thing, which, by the way, my grandfather watched, which I do not understand why he did. Which might understand why he was so bad at money, but I'm not going to talk about that. That's my grandfather, not me. And, yeah. Anyway, point is, right before the stock drops, Jim Cramer's all like, man, I really love IBM stock. It's really cheap. It's really good. I love who's in charge of it right now. You guys should just go buy every stock they have. Every single one. And just, right as that stock opens...
Oh my god, it's like the VTuber for the World Cup. She believes in something and immediately flops. I'm so sorry, Essie. I couldn't help myself with the...
I just love how this man is just... That's not even... The best part is, one of the most infamous interviews he's ever had. Y'all ever heard of Theranos?
Who?
Theranos.
No clue.
Theranos. Huh. Not really,
It was a scam company that mostly scammed Silicon Valley, saying that they could get health information from one drop of blood.
Huh?
It was impossible. Literally impossible. And this woman who was essentially the head of the fake company was yeah, by the way, they didn't use their own machines that they claimed they were using. They didn't use their own blood. They straight up used normal blood amounts. Blood samples and all that. In short, one of the biggest lies, though, was that the CEO was literally talking like this in almost every interview she ever had. And, it was very clear that this was like a fake voice that she was putting on. In fact, there was one point where she even broke the fucking voice, and it's an infamous clip of her going like, and she dressed like fucking Steve Jobs to every interview. And he fucking interviewed her. Jim Cramer interviewed her and talked about how great her company was. Yeah, he is notoriously bad at that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to laugh at him because this has been his biggest blunder ever. And he's had some big blunders, so that's saying something. So when a quote-unquote stock analyst has a big blunder and he fucks up, yeah, by the way, I'm laughing at him and not the people who trust him. I want to make that very clear. Because when we laugh at these people, we can hopefully bring attention that these people are not to be trusted. I want to make that clear. Alright, I think that's all. Moving on to Meep with, I think, Mamdani news?
Yes. 2 different Zora Mamdani news. Also, there's a third one that I forgot to put in here. He instituted a new policy. Basically, the lights at the city's soccer fields are going to be left on all through the night instead of turning off at 10 p.m. And people like it because they can play more soccer. Now the news. The New York City Council voted to increase the pay of various government officials, including themselves, for the first time in a decade. And Mamdani refused his own pay increase. I should mention it was an 18% pay increase.
18 is not a small number.
It's not a small number, especially since the New York mayor has already paid like $300,000 annually.
Yeah, it's
and he's basically like, I've never heard a single complaint from a single resident which came to the effect of the mayor doesn't even make enough money. So he's like, nah, I'm not expecting, based. And finally, he said, like in an interview, that he is still considering ordering the New York police to arrest Netanyahu if he came to New York to visit the UN. Basically, yeah, I haven't ruled it out. I'm still considering it, arresting him and having him sent to The Hague.
Yeah, I guess how long Trump would take before it going like, no, release
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. But, still, based Mamdani.
Face Mamdani.
Next up. Alright. So, there has been an outbreak of a parasite that causes people to shit themselves.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, most of the discussion so far has been focused on Taco Bell. Because Taco Bell was the first company to notice that this was a problem, pull their product and say, guys, by the way, this might be a problem, be careful. And for some reason, the feds are investigating Taco Bell for this, not the farm that grew the lettuce that is identified as the cause of this, not Cisco, the company that distributed the lettuce, Taco Bell. The responsible party. You'll never guess which link in the chain wasn't a major Trump donor.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. The corporate farm that grew the lettuce, Trump donor. Cisco, the company that distributed the lettuce, Trump donor. Taco Bell, the company that raised the alarm, not a Trump donor. Wow. But yeah, it's a parasite called Cyclospora, I think is how it's pronounced. It's not really dangerous, especially in the modern day. It just makes you really shit yourself. At least not really dangerous to, young, healthy individuals. Though nursing home employees have noticed a massive rise in donations of lettuce from local supermarkets in areas most affected by the outbreak. You know who tends to not be young and healthy?
Old people?
People in nursing homes, yeah. Like, specifically, one of the ones I saw was specifically calling out the supermarket chain Kroger. Which is, pretty fucking cringe of them. Because, like, the nursing home employees know full well what this is. It's potentially contaminated lettuce, potentially contaminated with something that could very likely kill the people under their care. But the supermarket chain obviously doesn't care. They're offloading it on them, so they're like, oh, don't worry, we've pulled the potentially contaminated product from our shelves, so they get the good PR, and they turn around and donate it to a nursing home, so instead of just a tax write-off, it's a tax credit. Because it was a bunch of product donated to charity.
That's stupid.
The system is broken exactly as intended. Next up. Trump gave an absolutely unhinged speech about election security this week, including going off on about how the 2020 election was stolen, guys. And he released a bunch of declassified reports to prove it. Like, half of the major U.S. news agencies did not air the speech live. basically saying, yeah, he spews so much bullshit. We need to take some time to fact check it before we post it. Otherwise, we would be violating journalistic practices. So those are declassified reports that he released to prove that the 2020 election was stolen. First of all, they said that the U.S. elections are very secure and it would be borderline impossible for a foreign power to manipulate them in a statistically significant amount. But Russia did in fact try to manipulate the election in Trump's favor and was a big player in the creation of the mail-in ballot voter fraud narrative.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
also,
I have seen that, by the way, the fucking...
Yeah. Also, if you cast your mind back to the front of the Roomba, I mentioned a surprise tool that will help us later. Which I posted in images, it's the spoiler one, where, Tim Pool, that asshole, put out a tweet basically saying Trump intel shows China paid U.S. journalists to write negative stories about the Trump administration. To which someone responded by calling it the least self-aware post of all time and posting a segment from one of the news reports about it. Yeah. Here it is. Alleged a media company linked to 6 conservative influencers, including well-known personalities Tim Pool and others, was secretly funded by Russian state media to churn out English-language videos that were often consistent with the Kremlin's interest in amplifying U.S. domestic divisions in order to weaken U.S. opposition to Russia's interests, like its war in Ukraine.
Who would have thought? So,
wow.
So what I'm hearing is the 2020 election was rigged in favor of Trump. He still lost. Then the January things happened.
Well, no, it wasn't rigged. It was Russia tried to manipulate the election in their favor, and he still lost.
Wow.
But reminder, the official Trump narrative is that the 2016 election under the Democrats was legitimate, the 2020 election under him was rigged, and then the 2024 election under the Democrats was perfectly fine.
Yeah, because he won both the 2016 and the 2021.
Yeah,
he lost.
So somehow the Democrats rigged the election under his administration, but then forgot to rig them when they were in charge. That's his official narrative.
That doesn't make sense.
Just hearing that, they just sound so backwards. Like,
well yeah. It doesn't make sense.
My brain
Sorry,
doesn't
I just wanted to
work.
scream that.
Because it's something Donald Trump is saying like it's real.
My brain doesn't work anymore.
Well, neither does his, so.
You know what? You know what I mean, though, right, guys?
Yeah. Yep. Next up, we're going to the nation of Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe? What's going on in
Yeah.
Zimbabwe?
Okay.
A big game hunter in Zimbabwe has died while hunting big game from big game. A group of big game hunters encroached on a breeding herd of elephants, resulting in them getting charged by the elephants. One of them shot one of the elephants, which then collapsed on and killed one of the members of the big game hunting party. Rip Bozo.
Rip
Fuck
balloon.
around and find out.
Yep.
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep.
Yep. Next up, we're going to Israel, not to talk about the war, but to talk about a new policy by the city of Bnei Brak, which has instituted gender-segregated blanks following pressure from local ultra-Orthodox Jewish religious leaders. I'd like everyone to take a guess. What have they decided to gender-segregate in this city in Israel?
Bathrooms.
Alright, Jamie says bathrooms.
I said bathrooms too.
Emily says bathrooms. This is something that's, like, newly being gender-segregated.
Oh, newly? Then not bathrooms. Can I undo my guess?
Yeah, go ahead. This is something they're instituting. It's a new policy.
I would say that Jimmy also gets to do something.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a new guess, Jimmy.
Because it's something new.
And I'm also noticing the word isn't that long.
That is not an exceptionally long word.
Banks?
That is a good one.
Ami says Banks.
Boss?
Spas.
Oh, that's a good
Wouldn't
one.
Spus... But isn't Spus also something that is already, like, separated? Or am I imagining things?
Not always. I don't know about Israel, at least.
Maybe schools?
No, schools are definitely segregated.
And school is and school can be. It depends on the school, and once again that's Israel. I don't know about their.
Well, let's assume Bolt means like public schools. That they're gonna start segregating the public schools by gender.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jimmy, you still need to guess, right?
Yes, I still need to guess.
Yeah. Already guess. It's more accurate to say.
You know what I'm going to say? Sidewalks.
Jimmy, you're very close. Because it specifically says streets.
What the fuck?
What the
Oh my god, Jimmy! Oh?
The fuck?
So... Yeah, but like... How would you segregate streets with the cars? With the people inside the cars? It makes more sense if you segregate the sidewalks, which is where the people are.
Pedestrianized streets.
Oh my god, that's Jim Crow shit.
Yeah, men on one side, women on the other. Under something like... I think they're like... Why the religious leaders want it was like decency or something. Like... You know, so-called only liberal democracy in the Middle East over here. Also, all the reporting I've seen on this referred to Ben Brack, the city doing this as the first to introduce this policy.
What the fuck? Why the first? What?
Well, that
That's
implies
gross.
that the policy is going to spread.
Yeah, let's not make it the first. Let's not say it's the first.
No, let's make it the first and the last.
Also, I'm
Because
pretty
I
sure
doubt they're not gonna change it.
one of the articles specifically mentioned that in like 2016, there's an Israeli Supreme Court case that specifically said you're not allowed to do this.
But you know, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's Israel. They have the U.S. on their bag.
Wait.
Sorry, not on their
this
back,
was
on their knees.
Israelis. They couldn't do that, but the Israelis said they're going to do it anyway because fuck the Israelis.
Yep.
And American politicians go off on the dangers of Islam and Sharia law. I'd like to mention, I'm pretty sure Sharia law doesn't, like, segregate the street.
I don't think it does either.
Like, it does a bunch of bullshit stuff, but it doesn't do that. Anyway, Bolt.
Yeah, I have something new again. So, we're going back to talk a little more about Palwor v Nintendo, because that's always fun, I'd say.
This
In
Roomba is
recent
going to
times.
be very Palworld coded. I'm gonna let it be known.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
this point onward, I think.
Yeah, definitely more Palworld. I'm not sure those who know. If you know, don't say it. If you don't know, I want you to take a guess.
I know it.
I know it, and I've even done extra research for it.
Alright.
I think I
Darius,
already
do you
know-
know
I
what's
think-
happening here?
I think I have a guess as to the gay involved too.
Darius, are you here?
Hmm?
Hello, you
I
are
can
here.
take. Yeah.
Do you know what is happening between Nintendo and Palworld?
Yes.
With their ongoing. Yes, you do.
I
But do you
guess,
also
yeah.
know what happened recently?
No, I don't know what happened.
Okay, you can make a guess then. Meep, do you know?
I'm gonna guess...
Hang on.
Come on.
So, Nintendo has received a massive L with what I can only describe with a deep oof, but I will be willing to play the last track later. Why? Well, the patent that they tried to get for monster catching specifically was rejected in Japan. when an examiner found something and cited that as prior art. The reason I say the reason I left that as a blank is because that is what you have to get. What was cited as prior art? What specifically? Go on.
And it's a big laugh, you say. If it's that ridiculous, I'm honestly going to go for what absolutely makes no sense, but I'm going to say Pokemon fan game.
Okay, me?
I thought this was the question earlier. I think it's something with Digimon.
Darius, you hit it spot on.
You actually hit it spot on.
Oh my fucking
They used the
God.
Pokemon fan game.
And I was wrong.
They were the first one to do it, so nope.
So this is both good and bad news. Let me explain why. This is good news because Nintendo. Let me explain. This is good news because fuck Nintendo. They got what they deserved. Bad news is they're going to start cracking down on fan games even more.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, actually.
Yeah. Though, what I also find funny, apparently Nintendo even tried to make the claim that they are infringing on copyright, therefore the prior art should not count. To which the examiner said, no, that doesn't matter if they infringe on copyright or not. That doesn't matter. You were not first. And it was specifically, I think it was Pokemon Generations, I think it was called? I think.
Yeah, Pokemon Generations. Yeah, I was like, I should know this one.
Yeah, so that was the one where you just walk around in an open world and catch Pokemon. So, oops, I guess that's what happens when you aren't first. Oh well. Maybe this could help them teach that if they really want something for their own game, they have to just do it immediately once they make it. Not wait until the game comes out that could threaten you with, competition. So yeah, I saw that, and yeah, the fact that they just lost to a fan game of all things that they are infamous for shutting down.
Busy.
Oh, the sweet irony. I can only do this.
It's poetic justice.
It's poetic, but also so fucking ironic. I love it. They shut fan games down so many times. Now they are the ones getting shut down by a fan game.
And one that, at least at the time, used to be fucking pretty popular. From what I remember.
But,
anyway.
Yeah. When I saw that, it made my... It really... Then...
Can we... Since we're Palworlding, maybe we should just roll into the, Palworlding and Pokemon.
This is Palworlding.
Let's just roll the Palworld and Pokemon all together.
So,
Jimmy, Palworld 1.0. You put that in there.
Yes, I did. Because, it was also going to be my recommendation. But, I guess...
I mean, I think it's going to be mine, too.
I guess here we are.
3.
We've been playing Palworld 1... Palworld 1.0 came out, around a week ago?
Yes.
A little more than a week ago? I have not been able to
9 days.
I have not been able to stop playing this game.
Dang.
I am playing it as we speak! Oh, playing. I'm lighting my Palscraft ammo. I need ammo. But regardless, I have not been able to...
You're still playing?
Yes. I've not been able to put this game down for days. Like, it is genuinely just... Pocket Pair
It's good?
How did they get it better?
Let me put it this way. They had a diamond in the rough with the early access. They polished that diamond, and that shit brined so bright that I'm blind. There is so much that they've added on Palworld 1.0. They've added 2 new areas. They've added a completely revamped early, mid, and late game. A a ton of pals have been moved around to places where they would make sense. A ton of bosses have been moved around. New weapons, new armors, new schematics, new mounts. End game. We can finally technically beat the game. We can get inside the fucking tree to see what the fuck is going on in there. And it's
Our world has been built.
And it's just, again, Palworld Early Access, I never had a lot of trouble with Palworld Early Access. Like, there were a couple things. Yeah, but, like, one of them was something that I loved doing, and there's a video on my YouTube channel that is my hubris getting the better of me, which was Pal Sphere launching. Which Tommy discovered by accident. Which was back in my day, Palspheres used to have actual like collision boxes. You could climb on top of a Palsphere, and then you get sent up flying in the air hundreds of feet. Amy discovered that, and then
Jimmy was just like, I can find tech for this.
And I was like, I can make tech for that. And I did two things. There are actually two techs. The first one is climbing up and going up for launching. The second one was using my grappling gun. If you caught a pal and the pal server was like decently high up, and you like hooked onto the pal sphere, and then cancel your hook close to the apex, close to where the pal server would be, you would get launched horizontally really far. And if you were like high up and with a glider, you could like get a lot of distance in. That shit was so fun. Unfortunately, that got patched out. But, like, we can paint shit now. We got a bond system, which I find really cool because it promotes you
stronger.
Yes, and it promotes having a team instead of, like, constantly switching. Yeah. Even though it's what I've been practically doing the entire 1.0 because there's so many pals I like. Oh my god, the pals!
Yeah. They have reworked almost all of the passives or pal.
Yes, there's a
I think
lot of
passives.
Yeah, passives.
Yeah, but the pal.
The partner skills.
Partner skills. Yeah. Which some of them now are just the same, but they do a little bit more. Some of them are the same, but some are like Nox, where Nox used to just add dark damage to your attacks, which was not really that useful when there were other pals that did it and were stronger. Mm-hmm. But now Nox can just find effigies.
Catchers is another good one. Catchers only used to give you extra drops from normal pals. Now, a fully maxed out Catchers has a 50-50 chance of just giving you the sphere back. Of basically just costing you no spheres. So if you throw a sphere, you would just not use it because of Catchers' passive. And like the new areas are really cool. Amy has been to the islands. I'm the only one who has been to the tree. I've shown Darius and Meep the tree because they don't play the game.
Yeah, you can see the floating islands at least in the distance.
Everyone's vibe from the three of us has been just, oh, this is just straight up a Dark Souls. And we mean this in the best way possible. So I'm really excited to see what the others think when they get there. Eventually. I don't know when. But it's just, the game is so fun. It hasn't changed too much. Like, it has changed, you know? But it's not like, oh my god, this game is like so different from what...
Oh yeah, there's a mild storyline.
Yeah, there's now an actual storyline to follow.
Even if it's a small one. You can ignore it too if you really don't care.
Mm-hmm. There's a total of 204 pals without, like, counting the...
redundancies?
Yeah. But there's around, like, 200... close to, like, 290 total. Including all of the retypes. And, I've got most of them. I have 286 scene. I think I'm missing like a couple. Maybe I'm just missing one. It's still 187. Because scene and caught have different things. But yeah, I'm missing like 3 registers and 1 PAL. It's 287 PALs.
Yeah, they've even rebalanced. They've even like add more incentives to certain types of activities. Like, oh hey, it used to be you had to catch like 10 of every PAL to get a Mac to get like the fully caught thing, which
I think it went
wasn't...
from 10 to 12, and now it's 5, which is weird.
Yes, and it used to be though that just getting the max just gave you a little bit extra experience. But now you get what's known as a Memog effigy, which now when you donate that, not donate, but you give that to your, you give that to a statue of power, quote unquote, that boosts your movement speed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're incentivized to go and catch every PAL, at least a little bit. At least not, you don't have to do every single one, but you're at least incentivized to catch most of them. I think that's a neat thing.
I agree. And the game itself, like, I played this game on low graphics, and this game sometimes has surprised me and just looked absolutely fucking gorgeous. Like, unironically, like, looked incredible.
Yeah, I might have to
like,
lower the graphics
stopping...
myself due to performance issues, but that's just on Linux's end, I think.
And there's just so
it just sometimes catches.
There's some PALs that people have looked at and they're like furry bait, and you know what? Yeah, they are furry bait. I feel like Palwor. I feel like Palwor has gotten its footing with a lot of the PALs, and they've made a lot of bipedal PALs in 1.0, which I think fits. I was hearing someone speak about this, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, considering it's a game that, you know, has guns and, like, combat, of human combat, too, having, like, these quadruped monsters fighting sometimes feels a little weird. But seeing another bipedal with you, it's like, oh, that's just my body in arms.
I disagree slightly, but I also really like some of the ones that were added that are not bipedal.
Yeah, no, a lot of the fucking... There's a lot of non-bipedals that just look really good. But then you have fucking the funny money.
Yes, but what I was going to say was some of my favorites in Palworld that have been added in the most... And, like... Literally, some of them have just been, like... The most recent patch has had some incredible genius when it comes to either names or design. I love that Sekhmet plays not just off of the fact that they have added a bunch of other Egyptian pals, but also off of Anubis, as you just pointed out. That's really good.
She's just Anka.
She's just Anka, yeah.
She is a little just Anka, but you know what? She's moving. Chat, guys. Okay. No, I need theirs and me. Look at her move. She's just vibing. She's just dancing.
The other ones that I really like though are like God dang it.
Hold on.
One of my favorites that they added in this patch was Herbil.
No, Herbil has been here since Terraria.
Really?
Yes, Herbil has been here since the Terraria update.
I fucking missed it. Regardless, I fucking love it. Well, it's still one of the more recent ones because that's within the last couple of patches. But still, Herbil is an adorable little pal.
I'm showing it on screen share if anyone wants to look at him.
And also its name is genius. It's Herb and Gerbil. Adorable. I fucking love it. I love stuff like Moldron. Moldron's incredible. Moldron's design is just big, lumbering beast.
Yeah, he's a big unit. He's one hell of a unit.
He's a fucking unit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they also changed designs for a couple pals.
Yeah, which were probably
Oh.
for the best.
Guys, I found the exact number that Momdani was offered as a raise, by the way, that he turned down.
Oh,
All right, I think we should move on soon.
Yeah.
I think
Just kind of backtrack to that real quick. The amount he was offered as a raise was $47,050.
Oh, there's a Molder on Christ? Shit.
yeah, but
I'll
I
have to
think
learn
you
how to
can only
breed
get it
that.
by breeding. Pretty cool.
Well, I
though.
figured that. That's why I said I'll have to learn how to breed that.
So look at this bad bitch.
Yeah, look at that guy. He's fucking huge. He's huge. Oh, you're talking about the other one.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Mandrix. Look at this bad bitch. There's also a fucking fish sword.
Andrew Tate got arrested.
Yo, really? Again?
Hey, yo!
Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami. Facing-
in America.
Yeah, and, seemingly for extradition to the UK.
What now?
So if he's not fucking pardoned, get fucked, motherfucker.
Well, no, if he's extradited to the UK, it doesn't matter if Trump pardons him.
Well, get fucked, motherfucker. Another one of those, oh, that asshole. Alright. Yeah, I've been enjoying this too. So much so that I had to do my weeklies today. On games. Oh yeah, this fucker, Tetrois. Can we talk about Tetrois really quick?
Look at the Primo version, though.
Before we move on to the next thing? Because, Tetrois, my reaction when I saw that, can I talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
I
Go on.
literally said, oh my god, what is this Mario block motherfucker?
Maybe if you could direct your,
What?
your attention at the Discord screen share.
Beep and or
There he is. or
Darius,
both.
if Darius is here.
I think Darius might be getting ready for the match. Take your attention at the screen share, please. Discord. I am screen sharing.
I'm opening it back up.
You might need to ping Darius for the, Tism. I literally said, what is this Mario block motherfucker?
It's the cube.
By the way,
I
the
fucking
rocks,
love its design. It's incredible.
the rocks in his back have free will.
That's even better. Oh my god, that means it's actually based more off of a fucking, what's it called?
If you grab one of them and put it somewhere, they'll just eventually drift back to the Tetrois.
That means it's more like a Rubik's Cube.
Probably. Also, they changed some designs. You remember how Verdash looked like big bunny rabbit that looked like grass type Cinderace? I used one in one of our. Yeah, look at him now. He's so
liked it.
ears. He is so ears. They
ears?
make him squishy and small.
They made him small and fucking like hyperactive as shit. Just like bouncy, constantly bouncing. I love it.
Oh, and by the way, this is the pal that a lot of us were like, ooh, we want this. Because we saw teasers of it. Yeah, this motherfucker is in the world tree.
I literally hear it laugh, and I'm just like, I laugh like it.
I remember catching some for everyone at the group, and I'm like, I'm gonna cut a few of them, and then everyone started to say, oh yeah, a few in quotations. I'm like, fuck off.
Everyone
Everyone did it. Like Bolt, I think Bolt was the first one, and then Amy followed up, and then Miles followed up.
I was the one who basically started it.
No, I'm pretty sure I was first.
No, Bolt was first, and then Amy
I
started
started
it.
the repeating. I was the one who started the repeating. You were the one who said it first.
Case in point.
Anyway.
Hold on, and then we were
I
like,
think you have the screenshot.
and then we were like, is Bond or Miles gonna be the next one? And then it was Miles. I don't know. Like, God damn it, I hate it here.
And Bond said it again.
I know.
Later
Just
on.
I
But
wanna
anyway.
I wanna one of these days have people that don't really play the game look at all the designs. I'm missing like a couple pals to catch, but I have seen nearly every single one of them.
All right, well,
Look at this fucking.
how
unit.
about we do the sad news for Unite?
Oh yeah, what the hell happened with Unite?
Yeah, so it's
Oh my
I watched Radals, pretty good content for Unite and stuff. For next year, Unite will not be a specific competitive event for main topic, and instead have its own unique event, which could be seen as some just the fact that they're losing something big for competitive could mean that this would be the start of the end for.
So they're starting to sunset, you mean? Yeah.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, and I just personally like to think. Let me just have this thought. It could be because of the fact that first they just stopped giving support on two spots. People just quit altogether. Combined with the horrible decisions that they apparently have made, with balance and not. So we just have to wait and see if they are able to keep the game going. Not. I guess this is the warning shot.
See, the true reason was because they couldn't survive without me. And it's just been slowly deteriorating since then. I am the most important player of anyone ever. Because I was the best Absol player, I was only silver.
Aha!
I'm kidding, of course.
Aha!
I think that Zuri would have you beat.
Aha!
I'm being sarcastic. Obviously.
I know, I'm playing into it.
Yep. Yep.
Also, I think it was higher than that. I just don't remember, don't care. What the fuck was that giggle? What? Alright, Meep, I think it's your worst segment now.
Sorry, I think I got something stuck in my throat.
Miles,
Sorry, it was all the bullshit I just heard.
Meep, I think it's your war segment and
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it's one thing, then
Wait,
it's
one
war
more thing. So, I believe this was in Colorado. There was a protest outside an ICE detention facility. And this is a private prison that was contracted by ICE to be a detention facility, because yes, in the US prisons are a private industry. Thank you.
Yes.
No conflicts of interest there.
What isn't privatized in the US? Genuine question.
Schools?
Good question.
No, there's private schools.
Well, I mean, the public ones, obviously.
In fact, not only are there private schools, but they are working really hard to make sure that they can get public school funding.
No, I know, and they're trying to make public schools privatized. I know. I'm just saying, right now they are not.
The postal service, technically.
Technically.
There are private postal like package delivery, but specifically like letters, I believe, has to be the postal service.
I mean, Social Security isn't privatized.
No, but they want to get rid of that. So
for how long though?
Which, to be fair, if they got rid of it, that would actually do something about the national debt, since it's one of like the 30 things that actually costs money at a reasonable amount relative to the national. Because like, if you break down the U.S. national budget, it's like you have like a third of it's the military, a third of it's paying down the debt. Then you have like social. It's like a quarter's the military, quarter's the debt servicing, quarter social security, and a quarter is literally everything else.
I don't believe the military is just a quarter. I think it's bigger.
I don't remember the exact breakdown. I just remember that of the four largest categories, literally everything else is the smallest one. Anyway, back to the point. One of the guards of this ICE detention facility shot a protester. You know, as you do. And he actually got arrested for this.
Yeah, because it's Colorado.
No, because he was off duty.
I'm surprised that we haven't had a pardon for him. I'm being sarcastic.
He was off duty. He grabbed his personal firearm and he just shot a woman. And he got arrested for that. If he was on duty, I'm sure no one would have given a shit, at least in the government. But because he was off duty, that means it wasn't in an official capacity, which means he doesn't have qualified immunity. Anyway, now it's time for my Meeps War News segment. Starts off with Trump officially telling Congress that the war with Iran is back on.
But didn't I literally tell him to stop it?
Yes.
Bruh.
But he's like, well, technically, I started. The timer's back on.
You say like, oh, it did stop, but it started again, so it's different.
What is it? The war with Iran 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, he's basically saying
Oh,
like
no,
this
it's the
is
same
the
one.
new timer.
Anyway,
Wait.
in other news, Ukraine made use of an uncrewed naval vehicle to deploy an uncrewed ground vehicle behind Russian lines in the occupied territories. To just come up on a Russian position from behind and do surprise 50 cal. It's very effective, surprise 50 cal.
Fun.
Ukraine is confirmed, in their anti-shipping campaign in the Sea of Azov is confirmed to have reached at least 105 confirmed ships struck. From what we're seeing of like the crews posting like videos of like the damage, Ukraine seems to primarily be targeting the ship's bridges, presumably aiming to take them offline while minimizing environmental damage from potential spills. Ukraine managed to strike the Syzran refinery again, which is 800 kilometers from the front line. They hit it with several drones, knocking every single subsection of the refinery offline. Every single one.
Goddamn.
Like, this is getting really embarrassing for Russia, because Ukraine's had anti-drone drones for over a year now, and Russia's still getting old guys unfit for the front line, giving them GPMGs or off-centered 50 caliber Gatling guns, and telling them to try their best. So far, the only flying objects that have had any effect by this has been the Russian soldiers sent flying by the spinning machine gun.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, yeet. Because I specifically bring this up because generally it's taken Russia like 6 months to a year to achieve parity with Ukraine's new innovations when they prove successful. At which point Russia's able to generally outscale Ukraine, which is why Ukraine's constantly innovating. But Russia's seemingly not able to co-innovate and like get the interceptor drones to work. Because they're cringe. Anyway, residents of occupied Crimea got a photo of their gas receipt out again. So in occupied Crimea, as of this week, the price of gas was 450 rubles a liter, which translates to $5.80 a liter, €5.14 a liter, or 22.23 US per gallon. Yikes. Now that's in occupied Crimea, where they can't get gas. However, it's not much better in other parts of Russia. A Russian in the city of Mirny, which is in Siberia, reported that their local gas station was selling gas at 380 rubles a liter, which is €4.29 a liter, or 18.55 a gallon. Which, according to this man in the video, was more than the going price for milk or vodka. I'd like to once again bring up. Remember a couple weeks ago where I showed you that comedy sketch of the Russians about the gasoline, where it was the guy who ended up just giving him a bottle of grain wine, saying "Drink that and don't drive."
Yes.
Yeah, it is just objectively cheaper to do that. Just drink and not drive. Because 1 liter of vodka costs less than a liter of gasoline. And you need a lot more than 1 liter of gasoline to drive. Also, the gasoline is shit. Because they're reducing the quality of the gasoline to try and get more gasoline, which is destroying your engine, so it's probably best not to drive anyway. Russia has found a tactic to try and reduce the number of fistfights that break out at gas stations, though. Because I've mentioned there's been videos of Russians getting into fistfights at gas stations. Russia has taken advantage of the fact it is currently summer. So all the teachers are being called in from summer vacation to supervise the gas queues. I should mention that reportedly the teachers are only being paid with tea and coffee. Not money, not a small bit of gasoline. They're being paid with tea and coffee.
Wow.
Like, come on, at least give them some gasoline.
At least I'll say makes dark dollars.
A Turkish court has issued an Interpol arrest warrant for Netanyahu for crimes against humanity. Which isn't just Turkey's issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu. They issued an Interpol arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Which I'm sure the Europeans can explain why that's a lot more significant.
I think? I don't remember actually. Oh.
If I remember, Interpol is the European Union Interstate Police.
Yes. The Interpol, yes.
Which means Turkey has just compelled the entire European Union to arrest Netanyahu. Granted, a lot of them, I believe, already had said they'd do that, but still.
It also means that I believe now they have to more covert actions can be done outside of just their own countries.
Yeah, Interpol can now take more steps to go after Netanyahu for, doing genocide. U.S. Democrats in the Senate blocked the annual military funding bill, both in protest of the Iran war starting up again, and to block the merging of U.S. intelligence with Israeli intelligence, because that was part of the bill. Yes. And the Republicans are going, oh, they're blocking veteran benefits. That's also part of the bill or something.
Says the fucking group that fucking slashed veteran benefits. Fuck off.
Your hearing damage is not service related. Russia bombed a pair of foreign ships docked in the Ukrainian city of Odessa. Which, I mean, interdicting trade is generally cringe but allowed. So, yeah. I think they did kill some foreign nationals that were the crew on the ship, but that's fairly standard for Russia. They were from, like, an African country, so no one cares. J.D. Vance on the Joe Rogan podcast. On the Joe Rogan podcast, J.D. Vance claimed Israel is running a, quote, discreet, well-funded campaign, end quote, to undermine public support and derail negotiations for Trump's deals to end the Iran war.
Who would have thought?
I think you're generous by saying it's discreet. Just saying. Trump tells Netanyahu to withdraw the IDF from Syria and Lebanon to avoid further escalation. Netanyahu says no. Jimmy, say the line.
To the rest of absolutely nobody.
Yep. And finally, the Lebanese Red Cross Center in the city of Bint Jbeil, J-B-E-I-L, Jabril?
Jabeil?
Bint Jbeil?
Or Yibel?
Ben Shapiro?
Yibel?
No. Anyway, in that city, was flattened by the IDF.
Oh, fun.
Because that's what you do when you're the good guy. You flatten the Red Cross headquarters.
Yes. Yes.
The auto mod caught something, Jimmy, if you haven't hit that already. For some reason, I don't have the button to do anything about it.
No, it's just a bot. Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's just a bot.
Alright.
Anyway. Yeah. Also, I saw another thing where it was the comparison of, Russian troops invade Ukraine. Is IDF moves into Lebanon.
Alright.
Gee, Western news media. That's an interesting choice of words there.
Well, is that all?
Yeah, again, Russia's continuing to do terror bombing, Israel's continuing to do terror bombing. They're both being cringed, to the surprise of absolutely no one. Actually, there was one other thing I forgot to include. The Ukrainian defense minister got changed out again. Which people seem to be actually upset about, because people liked the current Ukrainian defense minister, but I guess the generals didn't like him because he was like throwing money at people to help them like innovate and stuff instead of like, oh, we want more artillery shells. Bro, the war's not been like relying on artillery shells for the last year.
Catch a packet.
But yeah.
I need to throw
that
ketchup packets
happened.
at Jimmy. Because he's doing boss when I need...
I'm doing a
Catch it
raid
back.
on my own world, Amy.
Yes, and I need you to be able to switch to the fucking... To my fucking
Yeah, because
screen share.
it's Tism
Ketchup
time.
packet.
Oh shit. Well,
Ketchup
shit.
packet.
Hold on, fuck! I didn't think it'd be so.
I'm still
Ketchup
like
packet.
sort of not really because I haven't had time for it. Working on.
I'm actually throwing it at the screen that I have Roomba up on.
Also, by the way, I am saying in the background, I am still sort of working on, though I haven't had time to work on it recently. The tism I was working on for why Man in High Castle invading the U.S. could never fucking happen. I did say that I looked into it. There is actually one bit where there was a little bit of justification that basically boils down to FDR got shot, so the U.S. was more isolationist than usual. But let me tell you something. I don't think that would have fucking changed anything. At least in terms of the U.S. being able to be invaded, that wouldn't have changed anything. Like, all I'm saying is the America bomber was fucking stupid. Anyway.
Ketchup packet. Ketchup packet.
Alright.
Ketchup.
I'm gonna keep
like
going
my
until I see it
Heinz.
I'm gonna keep going until I see it on the Roomba screen.
I accidentally got some ketchup in my eyes. Now I have hindsight.
Oh,
My
fuck
God.
off!
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't come up with that. Oh, hey.
I didn't come up with it either. I saw it in a meme. It was the Jean-Luc Picard and Riker, or that Picard said something and then Riker facepalms. It was that meme.
Alright. Alright. I got it up. Okay, making sure I'm gonna pull it up on my I'm gonna pull up Roomba on my fucking phone. Make sure that it's not showing more than just my one monitor. Alright, cool. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. King Kingism and Elizabeth. Can you get fuck? Anyway, this is one of my favorite bands, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I just wanted to talk about them because y'all know I've been doing memes and shit about them and constantly referencing them because they're just a very eclectic band. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna be apparently. No, this has a lot of slides, so I'm gonna try and get through this fast. Kingism. This was what I'm going to cover about them, and whatever is who they are, what the fuck they do, what the fuck prog and psych are, because that's what they do. They do a lot of that shit. What the fuck these terms are, which we'll talk about. The terms that we're gonna talk about. Like, you know, what these musical terms are that will be coming up. Their albums in as short as way as possible, because they have a lot of albums. I'm not going to be able to talk about every single track of theirs, because I want to talk about these tracks, because obviously I'm going to be recommending a band that I like a lot. I'm not going to just be like, hey, let's talk about this band, and then just like, hey, go check them out. Especially because they hop around genres a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about how we're gonna do that too. And next slide. Thank you. Why? Because I fucking love them. And I love talking about fucking musical shit. Also, I used to play the flute. Have I ever said that?
No.
Because I did.
Okay.
I used to play the flute. It was really
Oh, I
fun.
didn't know that actually.
Yes,
Folk gal.
Yeah, before I transitioned in middle school, I absolutely loved playing the flute. It was a very fun instrument. I actually have the lungs. It's actually why I was really good. It's why I can hold a fucking note in singing. Because giz. It's a term that we're going to be hearing a lot. Giz. Just short. That's what a lot of people just shorten a lot of things in King Gizzard 2. Just giz. Or just King Giz. Who are King Giz? The band members. Stu McKenzie.
Okay.
Just all of his instruments, and the man who fucking just writes all the shit. Joey Walker, guitar, vocals, keyboards. Michael Kavanaugh, drums, vocals occasionally. Lucas Luke Harwood, bass. Note Luke, not Lucas, the one that when I say Luke, that's the band member, not Lucas, my boyfriend. Cookie Craig, the guitarist, or a guitarist, vocal, usually the lead guitarist. I should have put there. Keyboard. Ambrose Kenny Smith. He's basically the secondary singer, but Stu is usually the one that people associate with the band, and keyboard. Wow, there's a lot of keyboards here. Are you noticing?
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of keyboards.
And formerly Eric Moore, drum theremin, and oh wow, keyboard.
I wonder why there's so many keyboards.
Also, one of their big things used to be drums. 2 drummers.
Whack.
Yeah, they used to have 2 drummers. How they met. All of them were forming high school bands around the same time. Some even knowing each other too. Stu and Cookie, for example. In fact, fun fact, I looked up and it turns out some of their songs from one of their albums that we will be talking about actually were from that album, that band from Stu and Cookie. So that's just interesting. They were all studying in RMIT, which I don't know what that stands for, but Wikipedia, if you want to look that up, you can find that, which is in Australia. I didn't put down the fucking The fucking, goddamn city. Why did I not do that? Also, this is literally what I said out loud. Jimmy can attest to this. That is the shortest formation paragraph I've read in a Wikipedia article. Because usually it's a lot longer. If you've ever read a formation paragraph for a band or group, it's always like, well, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a lot of blah blah blahs.
Yeah, no, it was just like a paragraph. Okay. I thought that was gonna be a lot longer. So what's psychedelic? Music inspired by the feelings of being on mushroom/peyote. I don't think I need to explain that too much more. And then yes, not everybody who does it anymore takes drugs. Heavy reverb, sitar, or distorted guitar. You've probably heard some psychedelic music even if you don't listen to it actively. Yes, the metal version of this is known as stoner metal. That's a genre I listen to a lot. If you've ever talked to me. Examples, the Beatles, a lot of tracks written by John Lennon around a certain point in their career. You probably heard it. Especially stuff involving him on sitar and singing. Pink Floyd. You know the kinds of Pink Floyd songs. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. Absolutely. Grizz, a modern electronic example. That's more Lucas's stuff. Sleep, a metal example, not to be confused with Sleep Token. I want to very much clarify that. Other examples would be more niche, but those are more big name examples. I wanted to make sure that they were going to be bigger, so that way people who might know them might be like, oh wait, yeah, I know them. Other examples I want to put here, but I felt might be a little bit too niche, would be like, you may have heard of Tame Impala, or something like that. They are also bands like that. And the one that I thought there was more psychedelic that you might have heard of, but it turns out actually it's not as big as I thought. A lot of it's more niche. The one that was bigger was prog rock / progressive music. This one I didn't need as much on the Wikipedia because, unfortunately, Wikipedia was not as helpful here because it just did not tell me shit. I was using a lot of Wikipedia for this sourcing because, honestly, I did a lot of research and it just saved me a lot of time. I am so sorry. It is not being LGBTQIA plus accepting, although they should be or get fucked, obviously. It actually refers to the way songs are structured, which means, you probably heard of, like, the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Mm-hmm.
You know how, like, a
yes.
song opens with a random verse, then it goes to the chorus, the verse, the chorus, the bridge, the chorus. Sometimes, though more recently, the bridge is dropped. Or going to more classical notation for more advanced ideas to add to it, which we'll talk about later. Well, they drop that usually, so they'll be like telling a story. They'll be like they'll have more verses in a row and then have a chorus, or they'll never have a chorus, or they'll have like just a chorus, maybe, and then just meander through a bunch of fucking guitar solos or something. You get the idea. Examples: Jethro Tull, Yes, Genesis, King Crimson. Wow, this sounds a lot like a certain anime artist has been inspired by a lot of these artists, doesn't it? Because isn't King Crimson? Yes. And aren't those all stands? Anyway, why isn't Genesis a stand? But no, Kansas, Boston, Rush is another great example of prog rock. Pink Floyd again. Queensryche's a metal example, although they're less on the on the writing standpoint and more on the they just like to tell stories through their stuff. Mastodon, once again, more of the writing standpoint, and the Mars Volta, another big band, but they're more niche. One band that I really like, once again, the Mars Volta. There's a few other examples of the metalist type, being like Opeth or bands like them, but a little bit more niche again. So I'm like reaching there. Hope I'm not boring you with that. We're getting to the band themselves, though, here in a second. The fuck is musical notation? 4/4 is normal time. You've probably heard it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That 1 is the upbeat. That's all you really need to know, as long as you know 4 is the quarter beat. 5 is abnormal, or 5/4 is abnormal, or an odd time signature. So it'd be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 for 5/4. 3/4 would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or waltz time is usually what 3/4 is. I can use do an example of those very easily because that's the music that I used to play in on the flute. I was not as familiar with over 8, but basically that's the 4. Over 4 is usually what the main stuff is. I'm not going to go too in depth because most of my stuff was because there's a plethora of people out there who will explain this shit to you a lot better than I will. I'm just trying to give you the basis. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and do you know what a flat and sharp are?
I think it sounds familiar.
Yeah, so a flat or a sharp on a note is basically, just imagine a keyboard. I've got it up here, but I'm going to still explain it. So, on the Western musical scale, which we'll bring up occasionally, basically, just imagine a piano or a keyboard, however you want to explain it. You know how the keyboard has black keys? Those are your sharps or flats. Just imagine
half
that.
notes, basically.
Yeah, essentially. Half notes or a half step. There are notes that are slightly between. That's all you really need to understand what it is. There's you can hear it better if you want to, like I said, if you want to listen to it, but we're just going to use those to understand terms that we're going to be bringing up later. All right, on to the albums. How this discussion will look, just to keep things quick. Title up top in the little title thing. The genre first, then the gimmick. The track list, which actually I should have indented that to make it look more like how it will look later, with recommended track next to it if I like it, personally. Fun facts about the album, and then my rating out of Giz. Which,
Okay.
those ratings are never serious. Do not take them seriously. Unless I say so. Yeah. There will only be one time where I'm going to drop the presentation to actually play a song, because, as I discovered while doing research, well, I'll get to it when we get to it. So, let's start with an EP. An electronic playlist. Because it's technically the first thing they released. It's surf rock. And no, that is not a censorship for the first thing. That is money. Their first album was just... it sounds like surf rock. If you ever heard surf rock music, kind of sounds like that, with a little bit of Clash inspiration. If you've ever heard the band The Clash. I really like this. My favorite two are Dustbin Fletcher and Willoughby's Beach there. And only EP we'll be talking about because it's an EP. It's not really much talk about. It came out. It's not really an album. They don't really release EPs too much. They like albums.
What
Other
does
than that, look at
EP
that fucking glorious album cover. What is going on there?
What does EP
What
mean?
am I looking at?
EP, electronic playlist.
Okay.
And also, I think this album is underrated. I don't think enough people talk about it.
Stone Mullet.
Yeah, Stone Bullet. Also, all these names are kind of... Some of these are great names, like Stone Bullet. Danger Money. I need that danger money. I don't really have much else to say. It's a very standard album. The first album, though, has some, actual things to talk about. 12 Bar Brews.
Okay.
A.
Psych rock with them experimenting with audio recording methods, which if you don't know, is just them changing up, like, instead of recording with normal microphones and normal means, we're going to record with, let's say, old means. Let's say recording with, like, weird microphones that don't really make sense. Or, as the fun fact would say, the 12 Bar Brews, the titular track, which is also a pun on the 12 Bar Blues, a very popular track to learn on the guitar, was recording on an iPhone.
Okay, that's insane.
Also, I want to point out the third track from the last, because my rating is called Mum Out of Giz.
By the way, Amy, drones are 9.
Well,
was
it's
that?
just called 9.
The drones, they're 9. Sorry, I'm
The
related.
drones are 9?
Yes, they're 9 drones.
Okay, I was right. I told you.
I just wanted to make sure.
Anyway, but yeah, speaking of 9, sorry, there's a track on this called 9, N-E-I-N, which, speaking of, even though it's called 9, it spells N-E-I-N. It's them counting to 9, N-I-N-E. Which, no, we're not talking about odd time signatures just yet. Not quite there yet. Speaking of, have you ever heard of the sophomore slump?
Oh.
Sometimes when an album releases, or when a person releases their second album, it doesn't do so well. This is a completely different kind of sophomore slump because Stu McKenzie just decided, I'm gonna make a fucking spaghetti western.
Oh.
Cult western audio story?
Okay.
Yeah, I actually I've never listened to this album in full, and I finally did for this, and just... Yeah, he just likes westerns. Stu just likes westerns, and stuff like Red Dead Redemption. And also, yes, this is mostly voiced by his dad. I could barely consider it music. I'm not even sure if this counts as a second album. But putting it here because every other source counts this as their second album. Eyes Like the Sky is just not for me. I've tried to listen to it multiple times. I mean, maybe spaghetti westerns are for me, maybe, but this one just isn't. I'm sorry. Anyway, maybe somebody here will enjoy it. Who knows? Just out of nowhere. All right. Back to the actual albums. Float along. Fill your lungs. No, that is not AI. That is actually an M dash. Which, as Meep can attest, I was freaking out noticing that was an M dash. Psych rock / first
What does
psych
an M dash
experimentation.
mean?
Just long, weird dash.
Oh, okay.
Really hard to get sometimes.
Fair enough.
So, I think it's pretty simple. They play a lot of psych rock, uses a lot of keyboards. Don't really have much to say about this one, other than both times I've seen them live, they performed a song to close off this, and one of the songs on here was their first one to have an odd time signature in 5/4. All because Stu McKenzie was, as he put it, I was parking my car in the barn, and the alarm was going off, saying that my lights were on, and it just sounded, and it made me realize. And when I heard it again later, I realized that I'd been inspired by it, because it's in 5/4, you know. It was just like, okay.
As you do.
Anyway, yeah, I really I love this album, but if I were to recommend just two, I'd recommend Head On and Pill and 30 Past 7. Speaking of, 30 out of 7 out of Giz. I'm having
Okay.
too much fun with this.
She is.
Alright, oddments. Psych rock and folk. And odds and ends. Because that's what oddments means. Oddments literally just means odds and ends in Australian terms.
Mints. Yeah,
And
makes sense.
yeah, all of these are just odds and ends that they just put together. And this is the one where I said that, hey, some of these were from their old band. So, yeah, one of my favorites, though, is Work This Time. Speaking of, that song is the highest charting song in their discography. Why? I don't know. This is across all charts, by the way. In every... So this isn't just America. This isn't just... Whatever. Also, Vegemite, this is a fun fact about Vegemite before I continue, is, as Stu McKenzie has put it, his most honest track he's ever written. Because it's just about him really liking Vegemite.
No,
That's it.
Vegemite.
Yeah, I'll really like Vegemite. Speaking of, I like Vegemite out of Giz. I'm in your mind, Fuzz. I really like this album a lot, but once again, I have to choose two songs off this album. Cellophane and Satan Speeds Up. Which, by the way, I think this is a good time to point out that they have around this time, they have a lot of repeating themes in their songs. That being Satan.
Huh?
That being whoops, and stuff like that. Because they start to repeat them a lot here, and it's just really fun to listen to. And Satan Speeds Up is a great example of that. I just really like this album. It has a lot of audio panning, which, if you don't know what that is, it's when you have a song it's when you are listening to something and it just moves from one ear to the other. It's really trippy. It's, once again, just a plain psych rock thing. But this is also when they start doing a lot more weird time signatures too, and stuff like that. So, just plain fun album. Feels like they've started to get their sound down, and I believe at this point is when they've realized that King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard has stuck as a name, because that name, fun fact, was originally just them fucking around with random names. And they were like, I think this one just stuck. Because they were just looking for the most absurd one, and yep, that one stuck. Anyway, the artwork is inspired by an Atari game named Fortress, designed by Louis Secra, which I should have got. Now that I think about it, I should have gotten on screen to show. Damn. Also, audio panning out of Giz. Quarters. This is when they start fucking around a lot more. You ever wondered why your albums have the number of tracks they have?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, seems like Giz did. Because they decided 4 tracks. That's all they needed.
I mean, it's 12
And
quarters.
exactly, and each one takes a quarter of the album's length.
So each track is 10
which is
minutes and
literally-
10 seconds.
Exactly.
The fuck?
And my favorite is The River off of this, but all of them are great, in my opinion. God is in the Rhythm is probably my least favorite of the 4, but it's still pretty good. There's a small fun fact about this one. On YouTube, they add 1 to 2 seconds, so it makes it look like they're 1 to 2 seconds longer, but it's still even across the board. So, like, for example, it's instead of it being 10 minutes and 10 seconds, it's 10 minutes and 11 seconds, being 44 total. I've got time Mr. Incredible out of Giz. Because, I've got 40 minutes and 40 seconds, I think. That's all I've got to say about that.
Segment.
Paper Mache Dream Balloon. Hey, what if we just made an entire album without electric instruments? That's what they said. So they did it. And this is one of my favorite albums. I should have marked it that, even though I have marked most of my favorite albums. And this is the first time we're going to see psych folk as a full genre and not just a possible genre. Since the first track on this is great, Trapdoor is great. I had to and I almost said NGRI because it's got Bloodstain in the parentheses. Oh, that one's pretty good too. And once again, Time Equals Money is not censoring ass or anything like that. That is just money.
Okay.
And in case it's not obvious by the album artwork, the fun fact is every member, except the drummers, are on a different album. So we even get some flutes. We even get some, I believe, some bassoon at some point. I might be wrong about that. Or what was it, bassoon, or was it? I don't remember which one. But you get some really interesting instruments. Is all I'm saying. And the flute is absolutely by Stu McKenzie, so it's great. Also, making no sense at all out of Giz, which reference to the first track. Makes no sense at all. And now we get to one of my favorite albums that I love to recommend to everybody when it comes to this band, Nonagon Infinity.
Okay.
It's psych rock. Every song links together, even the last to the first. I recommend every song, but one of my favorite tracks of all time by them ever is here, Gamma Knife. Almost every track here has like some time fuckery. So, like, for example, Gamma Knife is in 7/8. So yeah, Mr. Beat there is in 4/4, but then every other measure is in 3/4. Because the whole thing is, the lyrics are like, once I missed a beat, I only missed a beat. So he's literally missing a beat. It's stupid and I love it. And also, this album has a fucking chorus. Do I need to say it? Do I need to say anything else? They fucking went so far as to make an album chorus. Like, they actually... Because they were like, if they all link together, wouldn't they all then be one song? Yes. So, and on top of that, each song has, like... Almost every song has, like, these upbeat... Whoos! Well, except for a couple of them, Invisible Face being an example. Which, speaking of, my rating... Woo! Out of Giz. And the next one is... it would seem I accidentally duplicated them. It looks like we're in a loop. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait, did they
I
make?
wonder why that would be.
They would make.
It might. It would almost seem like I accidentally linked from the last to the first. It's almost as if that was intentional. Anyway, before
From
we
the last
continue,
to the first to the last.
exactly. Anyway, before we continue, the next album tackles microtones. So what are those? A microtone in Western music is something that goes between the notes that we have in Western notation. Joby Fox, so exactly what I'm
Okay.
trying to say is, imagine those black keys had a key, the black and white key had a key between them.
Let's pretend, for sake of argument, it's gray.
Yes, or the two keys that are white, that have no black key, had a black key between them. These are half flats, half sharps, or you get the idea. Toby Fox actually does use these in Undertale. If you've ever, and a lot of people who are trying to cover these have a hard time replicating the exact sound. Due to that, it's part of the reason why if you've ever listened to a cover, unless they are using microtones, they don't sound quite right. However, in Eastern music, for example, like Japanese or like in Middle Eastern or places like India, they are far more common because their scales are broader and use more notes than ours. So, when you listen to microtonal, you might think it sounds more Eastern. That's just an example. So, with that being said, flying microtonal banana.
What? What?
Okay.
One of the greatest albums. One of the greatest album names of all fucking time.
Microtonal bananas.
Open Water is one of my favorite tracks on this. Sleep Drifter and Rattlesnake are also great too. But they use microtones in every single track of this. And some of them are harder to tell than others, with Rattlesnake being one of the most obvious examples. But Open Water and Sleep Drifter being more and more obvious. But I recommend these because definitely you're in the more minor uses and how they just like sound a little more, how like search and notes sound a little closer together than they should, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I do have a fun fact about Doom City though. That song is named after a testing zone for nukes, so yeah, that's fun. Also, there's a fun fact about the song Melting. That's our first environmental message song. That's going to be important because Stu McKenzie is very passionate about environmental messages, as we will see later on. Also, banana.
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 All right, Murder of the Universe. This one we've done slightly differently in how I'm going to deliver it. So, I'm going to recommend the tracks, Lord of Lightning and Balrog, off of the second story here, and we're just going to talk about the stories after explaining what this is. These are experiments with spoken word, but telling stories in 3 parts. And each part is a different story. Even though it's called Murder of the Universe, the third one is actually Murder of the Universe. So the first one is The Tale of the Altered Beast, which honestly is forgettable. I even remember reading the story and I've just forgotten it. So, yeah. The Lord of Lightning versus Balrog. I referenced it while fucking doing the goddamn podcast and D&D. Both of those songs are incredible. And they have incredible things. We'll get to the last one in a second. But basically, what happens is Lord of Lightning, just being him, accidentally throws a piece of lightning and just creates the Balrog, then fucking fights it. while this woman watches and narrates the whole thing and explains what she saw. That's it. And then Han Tayumi and the Murder of the Universe. Sounds normal. Absolutely normal. But what it is it's about a robot that's immortal and wants to die. And basically it builds another robot called the Munch Machine or something like that. And it constantly vomits mulch. I don't fucking remember the word. It's a nonsense word.
Mulch?
And it also wants to, and it's just like, I'm not going to kill you because you just created me, and now you suck. You should suffer eternally for that. And then and my existence is suffering. And then Han Tayumi just fuses himself with it and is just now vomiting the stuff endlessly. Until it murders the universe.
Damn.
Now you understand why I put excuse the fuck me.
What the?
Yeah, anyway, Nonagon Infinity's referencing Lord of Lightning for some reason, and also, what the actual fuck is that third story out of Giz? I only recommend listening to the third if you're a true Giz fan like I am. This is another album that I didn't finish until this, and this is... I didn't even notice that Stu was in the shot. Hey, anyway. Sketches of Brunswick East. Featuring Mild Hide Club. Jazz Fusion, which is not the first time... We are excluding the actual sketches of Brunswick East for brevity really quick, because there's like 3 or 5 of them. And I don't really have much to say. I don't really care for this. This isn't my thing. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm a big fan of jazz and jazz fusion, but this is just, I don't know. This one didn't click with me. Maybe somebody else will like it. It seems like it's usually excluded from most people's list of albums. So it feels like most people even forget it exists. And even the low quality of this album artwork on Wikipedia, I think, proves that most people don't even think of it. So yeah, I didn't even find a fun fact for this one. That's how little I could find on the album, other than just... Yeah, I really could not find much other than just I was listening to it and I was just like, I don't really like this album that much. Anyway, before we continue. Okay. The next album covers, I say one thing, but I forgot to change that to 2 things. We'll be discussing polyrhythms and polymeter. Polymeter is something where you have multiple time signatures, but they are sync up at times. So like, let's say one does a cycle and then the other does a cycle, and they eventually sync up at that cycle. So they sync up at the 1. It's hard to explain without hearing, and I'm actually going to be able to play this one because it actually is Creative Commons. And because fair use, because I'm also using this to educate you guys about polymeter and polyrhythms. I'm only going to use a short portion to have you guys listen to understand what polymeter and polyrhythms are. A polyrhythm is when a single instrument or multiples of instruments are doing separate speeds of the same meter or time signature. Usually different tempos of the same time signature. So, for example, let's say I just started clapping at 4/4, and somebody else starts clapping at 4/4, but we're both clapping at different speeds of it. But we still are hitting at the top of 4/4. at the 1. So this other person goes 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a polyrhythm. That's an example that I can come up with off the top of my head. But we're going to listen to a little bit of Polygon One.
Polygon to Wonderland?
Polygon to Wonderland. This one always trips me up. Polygon to Wonderland.
Wow.
Polygon to Wonderland. Which actually, after I get all of these things up, I'm going to stop the slideshow for a second to show you, to listen to the title track. Crumbling Castle is frequently people's favorite track by them, by the way. Inner Cell, I like that track, but we're about to see the fun fact for this. Fourth Color. You can tell they're Australian by how that's spelt. One of my favorite tracks off of this album, though. And, by the way, this isn't just polyrhythms and polymeter. This is also them just fucking doing lots of different time signatures and stuff. There's very rarely a time where there's just 4/4 in this song. Or in this album, sorry. But here's a fun fact. Inner Cell played 1 billion times while I was listening to music at work. I'm kind of a little sick of it. I love it, but oh god. YouTube music, why? Anyway, 4 and 8 and 5 and 8. Alright, so for a second here, let's listen to just a couple of seconds of Polygon Wonderland. Do you hear that?
No.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Jimmy, do you have the audio unmuted on your
Yes. No,
Maybe I need to turn it. Okay. So listen to the hi-hat, the little like cymbal, and the kick drum specifically for this. The hi-hat there is on a. The drum specifically is doing one specific. Is doing the same. Is doing the same. What's it called? Is it doing the same time signature across the thing? But the hi-hat is doing a faster one than the kick. That's an example of polyrhythm. This is off of the intro of Polygon Wonderland. Fuck Gizzard King and the Wanda Lizard. I can't say them now. What's going on? Have I had a curse put on me?
Yes.
Anyway, we're gonna speed through these pretty quick on the next ones because I'm noticing the time. But yeah, I'm gonna let it play a little bit longer just to get the rest of the song in. See, the bass joins on the kick. It really just starts to feel very confusing. And that's really all I want to play of that. And then Tetrachrome Mancy here does a polymeter.
Polycule.
So the guitar is doing a different meter from the drums here.
Mm-hmm.
They are not synced up at times, but then you can hear when they sync up. I think that's really cool to hear, isn't it? Like, once you notice it, it's just like, wait a minute. That's really interesting. And see, like I said, if I didn't know that this was going to be... if I didn't know that fact when looking at fucking Wikipedia that it was on Creative Commons, that was... that they were on Creative Commons, and I didn't notice that they were straight up listed on fucking Wikipedia with playable links, I would have fucking assumed that, oh my god, I'm gonna have a hard time understanding this. Anyway, I also want to thank David Bennett's Music Theory on YouTube for this. This helped me so much. All right. With that being said, let's speed through the next ones because we're kind of getting low on time. Gumboot Soup. This is another Odds and Ends album. I just love it. Beginner's Luck is honestly just a great. It's just a great, like, intro song to them, in my opinion. Just one of my favorites. That's one that I'm going to really point out there. All is known, whose theories by fans, to have originally been planned for Noggin Infinity, Stu has shot this down. That's all I really have to say. Also, Oddments 2, basically, but just a little further on. Fishing for Fishies, our first environmental album, but just not done as well. Blues, and this is just a new album, or a new genre. This is when they start genre hopping all over the place. And I recommend Saibuki, even though technically it's not the blues of the album. Because this one is not for me. This album is not for me. I guess I'm just not a blues fan. But this one is... A lot of people like Fishing for Fishies, so I have to say... Maybe I'm very much in the minority here. So.
I mean, you're probably better for purples than for blues.
Oh, shut up! Anyway. Yeah, people really like it. People love Boogeyman Sam. Anyway. Basically, in short, Robot wants to go fishing. That's it. Also, I really do not like The Cruel Millennial. It seems like an agreement that nobody likes that song. It seems like it's one of their least popular songs. And... Oh wow, hey, it's one of my favorite albums. I had this on vinyl.
Damn.
Infest the Rat's Nest.
Okay.
That album cover, by the way, is referenced in the song Hell.
War is
I can see.
Self-Immolate.
I can see that.
Yes, Self-Immolate is my favorite song, so the album cover is The Door to Hell. Because it's amber. That's all you need to know. You'll understand later. Basically, heavy fucking metal, thrash / environmental themes. Whole idea is the rich have gone off to fucking Mars. Left all the spores on Earth as it started to burn up. A bunch of people start trying to get to other planets to colonize it and make it better. It's not working out so well. Then Satan, when a bunch of poor people start getting to like, when Satan's all like, there's a lot of people here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send them to Mars as rats.
Rats.
Yeah.
We're the rats.
Whoa.
And basically, that's where Infest the Rat's Nest comes from. Anyway, this is also the last time we're going to see from Eric Moore inside the band. So that second drummer is not there. And funny enough, this is also the last time we're going to see him at all, because he's not even like drumming in this. He's singing backups. Also, Baby Jesus Shits Himself Out of Giz, which is off of Planet B. One of the greatest lyrics they have ever penned into existence. I fucking love it. KG and LW. These are two albums that go together. I'm going to just clump them together. I don't know why that didn't go into it, so I'm gonna fucking whatever. So indie psych and psych rock with microtones. I don't really need. So basically, the fun fact is that these two are basically together, and in case it's not obvious, I much prefer LW, and it's And you're probably noticing it says microtonal volume tuning volume 2 and 3. Yes, this is technically a sequel to Microtonal Flying Banana.
Oh, it's fine. Okay.
And they did an entire, like, 10-minute version of Straws in the Wind the first time I saw them. That was absolutely incredible, with Ambrose singing and just getting the crowd riled up and shit. I've since become a fan of that song, so I can't not. Also, if not then now, then when is another environmental song, all about, like, so when do we draw the line of, like, you know, of like when we of like when we need to, like, care for this shit. So yeah. And yeah, acronyms out of Giz, because I wonder why. Butterfly 3000. Oh, hey, it spoiled my fucking rating. Indie psych / rhythm polyrhythms. There's some polyrhythms in this. Yes. This is kind of their first experiment with a lot of keyboards and shit, because they were like, hey, our friend, like, you know, Tame Impala and shit, who's also Australian, is doing pretty good. Let's make an album like that. So they released songs like Interior People, Catching Smoke in Yours, which are the singles, which the other songs are good, but the singles are just the best, in my opinion. And I don't really have anything else. I tried to play Catching Smoke to Jimmy, and he was just like, oh, the intro's giving me a migraine. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll stop.
Sorry.
Well, now that I know that... No, it's okay. That intro is very repetitive. I think if you got past it, maybe it wouldn't be. It's fine. But I think maybe if I switched... I also think, now that I know which one's polyrhythm and polymeter, I think it's polymeter, now that I think about it, which one's which. Yeah, it's whatever. Interior People's where the quote from my rating comes from, and also, this is King Giz's COVID project. So yeah. And I love this album. This is my favorite to get stoned to, which I won't be able to in the country I'm moving to. And also, I believe we're in the home run of albums, because Made in Timeland doesn't have that many songs. Psych rock / vinyl optimization, 2 tracks, because there's only 2 sides on vinyl. Timeland and Smoke and Mirrors.
Oh, okay.
Notice there's no recommended songs, because it's... I mean, like, there's recommended portions I could do, but, like...
It's 2 songs!
Yeah, it's 30 minutes total, and, like... I like both songs, but it's like, I can't recommend both of them in full, because they're good songs. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so this was released digitally and on CD later alongside its sequel album, Laminates of Denim, which is an anagram of Made in Timeland, which we'll get to. But yeah, there's lots of portions, lots of things switching up. It's very long, very regressive as well. Don't really have much to say about it other than I have this one on vinyl as well. The only bit Giz couldn't fully commit to, sadly, because they had to release it digitally when they said, oh no, this one would only be on vinyl. Well, how'd that age, Giz? Sorry. Omnium Gatherum. You guys know what a double album is?
Huh?
You do?
No, I don't.
So, a double album is when you take the length and resources of a normal disc and you make 2 of them. That's it. Also,
Okay.
do you notice we've reached 20? They started in
Yes.
2012. This is in
Okay.
2024.
Oh,
We are-
damn.
They are very productive. We have too many to count, so we're just gonna fucking get all of them done at once. This is a double album. And yeah, I have a few that I recommend, but they really drag in the middle. Which is basically my rating. Need some wheels in the middle.
Yeah, fair.
And this is when they stop referencing Satan and shit a lot. But Gaia and Kepler, but this one is like they switch up genres constantly. I didn't recommend Magenta Mountain. That song's incredible. Fuck. Well, just pretend Magenta Mountain has recommended there. The Dripping Tap's an 18-minute long, incredible song. Kepler 22B, just, yeah. There's a lot of songs, and also Predator X is cheesy as shit. I love it. Basically, drags in the middle, pretty good album other than that. Also, this album cover, just, I love that artwork. Holy shit. I wish I could get it bigger, but I couldn't with all the shit I had to fit on the screen. Ice, Death, Planets, Mushrooms, and Lava.
Okay.
What?
Why?
Mushrooms and lava is wild.
This one I have a hard time remembering the name of, so I just call it IDP or Ice, Death,
What is
Planets,
that
or just
cover?
Ice.
What is that cover? Oh my god.
Yeah,
What
it's
is happening?
it's a psychic jazz fusion slash modal music, the Modicin. So if you don't know what modal music is, I barely knew. Once again, thanks to that YouTube channel that I shouted out earlier, which I'll shout them out again after this is over. Modal music is different from what we usually do, where usually when we're writing music, we have a scale, and all of that, and we write with chords, and we focus around certain chords using notes from those chords. With a mode, it's usually around like a few notes with one note as the base, and it kind of like orbits around that note. That's basically what they did, and there's a bunch of modes, which I'm going to list alongside the songs. And there we go. Oops, I added a D to his name. Whoopsie, I typoed it and I didn't catch it in time. I did a meep. David Bennett Music Theory on YouTube. Thank you. Just pretend that says capital B and there's no D.
Okay.
My spelling's in
one is called
Ionian.
Iron Lang.
Yes, Iron Lung, which is Lucas's favorite track by them ever. And this is another great album. Ice 5, I reference all the fucking time. If I'm ever playing Balatro, you probably heard me do it. Ice 5, will we survive? Flush 5. But yeah, we have Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Locrian is actually the one that most people say is the hardest, and they somehow fucking did it. Because most people just are like, don't write music in Locrian. Just don't. And Ionian is usually the major chord, and they were like, that one was actually hard for Giz, but yeah. So, well, hey, the album's name is in the order that they use the modes and the first letters of them. Oh, hey, look at that. Ionian, ice, Dorian, death, Phrygian, planets, Mixolydian, mushrooms, Aeolian, and Locrian lava. Oh, I wonder where that name came from. Anyway,
Yeah.
Self-Immolate reference. Oh, my favorite song from earlier. It's a in one of these. I'll let you guys figure that one out. Laminated Denim. I told you that the sequel of Made in Timeland. And Hypertension. Just fucking listen to that. If you like Hypertension, just this album's for you. That's all I really need to say. Was included in Giztober. A 3-album long streak of 3 albums in 2022, which is the previous album, this album, and the next album. Wait, did I say that? Oh wait, no. I said. Oh fuck, that means I said Omnium was in fucking 2024. I meant 2021. Fuck, I'm stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering. What about?
Anyway, Luke got laminated too. Oh no.
What does laminated mean in this case?
Covered in plastic.
Oh. Why did they cover him in plastic?
To preserve him.
Land for time.
Anyway, that's also a reference to one of my shirts.
That is probably the most normal cover I've seen up to until now. Like
Yes,
oh god.
I love their album covers though. They're so good because they're just so
Yeah,
incredible. All right, changes. Psych pop / with in parentheses 70s R&B, which was how it was labeled. Which I'm just like, I don't agree, but sure. That's so. Every song is built off of change and goes from there. Hate Dancing, AstroTurf, Nobody. Just listen to them. They're just really good. And fun fact, so the 2017 albums were Nonagon Infinity, Micrototal and Banana, and Murder of the Universe. And it was supposed to come out right at the end of those 3 to make it 4 or 5 albums. I don't remember what the 5th was. But they were like, this one needs more polish. So they waited to 2022 to actually finish it. And I think they did a great job because, God, these songs are great. Also, I love how how like 3 of them are wearing bucket hats in this goddamn album cover.
We love bucket hats.
Yeah.
I mean, my boyfriend loves bucket hats, and also, my boyfriend looks kind of like Stu. Stu right there. That's Stu McKenzie right there. He kind of looks like my boyfriend in a bucket hat. Anyway. KGLW.
Such.
I still hate dancing. Out of Giz.
Okay.
Petro Dragonic Apocalypse, another one I have on goddamn vinyl. We're almost to the end. Petro Dragonic. Prog metal / another ecological album. Still more fucking... still more fucking everything that we've said before with everything but the modes. I'm not even gonna say which ones to recommend because there's not a fucking miss in this album. Holy fuck, that's rare. Because even the albums I recommended, except for Not Gone Infinity, there's at least a weak song. I can't say that with this album. Every single one of these is great. I mean, Motor Spirit might be a little weak, but even then, I'll listen to Motor Spirit. I love Motor Spirit. But I have to say the full name of the album, or I will fucking die, because this album's name is incredible. The full name is Petrodragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night and Annihilation of Planet Earth and Beginning of Merciless Damnation. Both are referenced in the album, by the way, in songs. But everybody just calls it Petrodragonic, because fuck all that noise.
I'm dealing with that shit.
Yeah, who's gonna call it that full fucking title? Motorhead out of Giz, because that's what that's what this album sounds like. It just sounds like Motorhead.
Oh, it
As
sounds like
everybody
Motorhead.
says.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody agrees that it sounds a little bit Motorhead inspired. So yeah, the Silver Chord. This is probably the only album where I cannot recommend to anyone. And let's stop to take a look at these times because, oh god, electropop, another genre change, but look at the short and long versions of these songs. Paya goes from is 3 minutes at the short, but 20 minutes for the long one. Silver Chord is 4 minutes, but 12 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Holy damn.
Like what? The difference in the total, and then let's just skip straight to the total length. 28 minutes to 88 minutes? 60, that's an hour difference.
Yeah, it is, like, holy damn.
Yeah. Also, I added a J accidentally. Like, yeah, I've heard some people say that the full version has, like, lots and lots of lyrics. And there's some people who are stands for this album, but it feels like the stands are few and far between, sadly. And also, the Silver Chord is, the titular song, is like such a turn-off of a song. Because it's Stu McKenzie or Ambrose singing it. I don't know who it is. But you hear it and he just sounds like this. Through some sort of voice modulation, and it is irritating. I just don't know why. Like, I like long songs, but good God. Anyway, also, why does he sound like that on Silver Chord? Oh. Also, they do sound good live. I've heard the live versions.
But actually they had good names for these songs, for example, Gilgamesh Extinction.
Yeah, these are actually this is another environmental song, an environmental album though.
Okay.
From my understanding. But I cannot vouch for that because I've not looked through the lyrics. So that's why I am not putting that there. We're talking about what it's about. But from depressing and upset to an album that I actually kind of like. Flight B741. With...
Holy cover.
Look at that fucking cover. Southern blues / rock feel with some deep shit and everyone is singing. That's what they describe it as. I don't know what they mean by deep shit. I couldn't tell you what the deep shit's about because I'm just having such a good time with this fucking album. Every time I put it on, I'm just like, I'm jiving, I'm having a good time. And Le Risque, if you just want to have a good fucking time, Le Risque, there's no, like, going back as soon as you put on the Risque. It's just go. It's just, you put it on, you're there for a good time, and it's not going to go back. That's all. Oh, yeah, there you go. And that's a quote from the song. I rest not, I feel not, I just go. I don't have any fun facts for this one. It's just a fucking good album. And also, I think the albums are... This album's like... What, 2020? I think this album came out last year? So I don't think we have many fun facts because I don't think they've talked about the development of this too much. And also, when I say everyone is singing, I mean every member except Stu. Who is usually the one who sings. So yeah, that's saying something. And with that, Orchestral Rock, the last album. We're here. We're at the end of their discography, guys.
27 albums
Really,
in how long?
Since 2012.
14 years, 27 albums. Holy moly.
Yes. Phantom Island, recommended track. And this is orchestral rock, but honestly, I think they've actually made some of the most catchiest shit on this album. Especially Dead Stick. You listen to Dead Stick, You won't get it out of your goddamn head. Everybody agrees on that. But also, I want to point out, the reason why I made this thing is because they released their most recent single, which is level 5, and I cannot get that shit out of my head either, so just don't watch the video because it's for some fucking reason super graphic.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
But you should know that because that's the only way of currently listening to it is the video. So just open it up, go to another tab. There's no sounds. It's just the thing. Anyway, so this album is really good. I'm gonna listen to it again because I feel like I've really missed some of the a couple of the last tracks, especially Grow Wings and Fly. Dead Stick, Phantom Island, absolutely love. I still listen to them, and to quote Dead Stick, I can't believe we made it out alive because we just made it through all 27 albums. And oh wait, where's the fun fact? I don't remember putting that there.
Ooh.
No, we're not. No, Jimmy, no, I promise. That is not the meme. No. Penis.
Fucking amazing ending.
Penis.
You knew it wouldn't be fin or end.
It wouldn't be a hammy ending if it wasn't something wacky.
It's just penis. Fucking god damn it. After 27 albums, penis. That's what
Yeah, I can send you guys the file so you can see this shit because I'm going to fucking put it in the images because I'm proud of this. Okay. Oh my god, the boyfriend song.
Absolute amazing tism.
Oh my god, you're welcome. Penis.
Penis.
Welcome back. All right. I'm glad that you all stayed, despite it going a little longer than I expected. Actually,
Yeah, don't worry. I was kind of like multitasking 3 things at once. I was listening to you rant nerd about King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. I was doing Power World stuff, and I'm also keeping track of the Argentina-Spain match.
Which at the moment is still 0-0.
Yeah, and
Argentinians love to foul.
yeah, no,
Yeah, another one.
Argentinians are just fouling constantly. Who would have thought that the team that is not doing too hot and is maybe just maybe the people saying that they're cheating, maybe they don't want the people that have been playing well to win, so that's why they're doing fouls. For reference,
Also, that one push was personally.
For reference, Spain has shot 4 times, twice at the goal. Argentina has a none.
Oh,
Yeah.
Corner. Sorry, I'm watching the match as we speak. I got to have the match on one of my
I'm
monitors.
also watching.
So,
I'm watching.
But yeah,
Make
if you
that
guys want my
5
recommendations for the albums, I posted the goddamn Tism in as an ODP in the images.
Fair enough.
actually, I'm going to keep that when I have like a phase where I want to listen to fully new music and albums. So
it's
I can
been-
actually go with that.
Yeah,
get that
4
down.
shots, 2 to the goal. 61% of ball possession for Spain. 390 passes, 90% of precision. Both teams have 11 fouls. But Argentina has 2 yellow cards and neither have any red cards. And I think Spain is getting its 3rd corner now.
It should be, yeah.
Looks like
I
it.
didn't count.
Yeah, corner number 3. No, that's out. Unfortunate.
Anyway, I'm gonna go hug the boyfriend.
Yeah. Go do
Okay.
that.
I'll be right back.
Well, is there anything else we want to do before we end stream? And I'm just focusing on watching the match and see how it goes.
Mm,
I don't have anything planned.
Meep, is there anything else in the idea box?
nope. I've been. Well, Amy was doing her tism. I've been working on my tism.
Oh, you have a tease them for next time.
Maybe not next time, but I realized I had some time I could work on the one where explaining why the the man in the high castle scenario is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, it's quite. I mean, there are a lot of points where you can call it stupid. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's is fantasy, absolute
All,
fantasy.
all I'm mentioning as a spoiler for when we eventually get there is I had spent a fair bit of time trying to find a good map of Europe that includes the Azores.
Okay, fair.
So yeah,
Cucurella.
Maybe Hoi 4 can help you with that.
I really want Spain to win.
Everyone wants Spain to win except you Argentinian, eh?
And Trump. And FIFA.
Yeah, well, fuck him. Also playing so well when the passes are so fucking good, it's insane.
Yeah, there's a reason why we have 61% of
Yeah, and Lamine Yamal's dribbling.
they're just playing well. You can see they won the win, but it's like Argentina has kind of just parked the bus. You know, like every single other team we've played against. Who would have thought?
Another
Another foul. And another one. Oh, wait. If this guy gets another yellow card, he's out. And Argentina's back down to 10.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because he did get... Bro, you went for the leg, not even for the ball.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, he went for the other leg. Pobre Pedro Porro. Come on, Spain. I'm really hoping to score a goal. We are in the second half, and it'd be not the greatest if we went to extra time. But yeah, if there's anything we want to talk about before ending the stream, we can do it. If not, we can end stream now, and I can tune in the match on the. Y'all want to just finish stream so I can I just screen share the match.
I've already said my recommendation.
Mine's Palworld. That's what I've been playing.
I think Bolt also said Palworld.
Yeah, that's three people that recommend Palworld.
Palworld too.
It's such a good game. I cannot. By the way, Bolt, if you ever want to just hop in the world to level up and shit, just give me a heads up
Yes,
and I'll
told me this before.
Just want to make sure. Regardless, if there is nothing else to do, I think we're gonna end it here. Question mark? Unless anyone has a recommendation.
Do the other two have recommendations?
Darius, do you have a recommendation?
Football.
Okay. Meep, what about you?
Moop.
Oh, I know it. No.
good question.
That's a good question, Mega Man.
I recommend. Chat hits the buttons below the stream.
Yes, that's also a good recommendation, and also do that to Amis.
Well, this isn't your stream, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said and Amis at twitch.tv/
They put Oyarzabal out?
ARBYYYYYYY.
Do you have the ability to shout yourself out in the Twitch chat? I don't know.
I need to get up to. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not at my
swapped out two
keyboard.
people at once, Jimmy.
No, but Oyarzabal's out, which is what surprised me. We'll have to see how this goes. They still haven't put in Mikel Merino, which is one of the GOATs on Spain this World Cup. So...
Yeah,
and another one. Alright, yeah, we're gonna end it here. I'm going to screen share the match over on Discord. If anyone wants to see it, feel free to just...
I will be back. I will go hang out here in a bit. I just need to shower.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
okay.
gonna... Where is it?
I'm gonna match with it.
There it is. Alright, there we go. Alright, then I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Alright, see ya.